Cooperatives of Arkansas. Reliable, affordable, responsible power. By Kubota. For Earth. For life. Modelo Especial. Brewed for full-time Razorback fans. By Roller Funeral Homes. For 3 generations, the Razorback Nation has trusted the Roller family to serve yours with all our respect. Also sponsored by Edward Jones. Find a financial advisor near you at edwardjones.com. Your local Toyota dealer. Toyota. Let's go places. By Armor Bank. With locations across this great state, Armor Bank simplifies banking. Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. This is winning. By Go-Go Squeeze. For active people, Go-Go Squeeze Active Fruit Blend with electrolytes can help replenish the essential minerals lost during exercise. By Greenway Equipment. Equipment that works as hard as you do. BASF. We create chemistry. By Fish City Grill. Friendly folks. Serious seafood. And by the Arkansas Department of Health. Quit tobacco. We can help. The countdown is on to Arkansas baseball. Now, inside Hoover Metropolitan Stadium, here's the voice of Razorbacks baseball, Phil Elson.
Just a gorgeous day for baseball and the start of the postseason for the 4th-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks, who are here to start their tour through the SEC tournament, while some other teams have already played a couple of games, and that includes the Razorbacks' opponent today, the Ole Miss Rebels, who on Wednesday beat Florida 3-1 to advance to this quarterfinal ball game. The Hogs will take on Ole Miss. The winner plays the winner of the game later on tonight in the session between Texas A&M and LSU. It's great to be at the home of the SEC tournament. The Hoover Met in Hoover, Alabama, just south of Birmingham. Been doing it here for nearly 25 years. The Hogs, of course, have won just one SEC tournament. They played for the championship 3 times, and they're in a position that they really, really like. Don't have to play any more than 3 games in this tournament. They lose today, they'll head back home, but they're just going to treat this like any other weekend in preparation for the NCAA tournament. Great to be alongside my partner, Bubba Carpenter, a member of the University of Arkansas Hall of Honor and former Major Leaguer. Bubba, good to see you got here safe in one piece late last night. Hogs are usually here Saturday night. They're usually the first team here in Hoover, but they didn't get here until Wednesday afternoon, and it's been just a couple of days. Sometimes they just spend 4 days in their rooms without much going on. I'm excited to see how they play in this new tournament format.
I am too, Phil, and I think it's going to help them, the fact that they haven't been here that long. I think it started to get to be a drain on them. Being in here 4 days before you play, sitting around the hotel, even though you're working out, it's still just being on the road's a drain. So I think they're going to come out energized today, ready to play some ball.
Yeah, and Zach Root, man, Root, of course, is an SEC all-first-teamer. When you look at his numbers, they're kind of below some of the other pitchers that are on the all-SEC first team. 6-4, 416 earned run average, but he's had really good performances and some that have been not so good. One of those was against Ole Miss, and that was the first game of the SEC schedule. Zach got knocked around, gave up 7 runs in that ball game, and I'm here to tell you, I think he's going to do better today.
I do too, Phil. And do you think part of that could have been nerves? That was his first SEC start on the road, pretty hostile environment against a team that no one likes. So I think that could have had something to do with it.
Riley Maddox will get the ball for the Rebels. He's 5-5 with a 546 earned run average, but the Hogs have beaten Maddox each of the last 2 years, and they've scored 7 runs against him in 9 innings pitched. It's 84 degrees. We're not going to be much warmer than this. Heck, sometimes it's 95 degrees this time of the year here in Alabama, so this is absolutely perfect. Have you here on the Built Ford Tough Dugout Show, being presented by your Arkansas Ford dealers and the Ford F-150. Like the Razorbacks, this truck has a strong tradition. It's earned by outstanding capability and smart features like a mobile generator. That's how to create a legacy, and the official truck of the Razorbacks. Stay with us. Head coach Dave Van Horn joins right after this from Coca-Cola.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
When it comes to keeping your family safe, Summit Utilities is here to help keep your senses sharp both inside and outside your home. If you smell a bad odor like rotten eggs, leave on foot immediately. It might be a gas leak. Then call both 911 and Summit Utilities from a safe location. Outside your home, it's important to know what's below before you dig. Always call 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free and can save you a lot more than money. Your safety is our priority. For more on gas safety, visit summitutilities.com/safety.
Stay tuned. We'll have more of the Built Ford Tough Dugout Show, presented by your Arkansas Ford dealers and the Ford F-150 coming up. This is Arkansas Baseball from Learfield.
What does care look like through the years? From the first memories to the treasured moments, from life's accomplishments to life's challenges. We're here for you, body and mind. Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield has been taking care of families for more than 75 years, providing health insurance and peace of mind with the kind of coverage that ensures your best days are ahead. Take good care, Arkansas.
Are you looking for a venue to watch sports while enjoying great food from a chef-driven menu? Are you needing an event space for large gatherings, for birthdays, rehearsal dinners, or company meetings and holiday parties? Farrell's Lounge Bar and Grill is Northwest Arkansas's premier sports bar and event space with 24 high-def TVs, 35 beers on tap, extensive menu offerings, and a full bar. Farrell's is the destination for any sports or food fanatic. For more info, go to farrellslounge.com. Farrell's Lounge on Dixon Street, Fayetteville.
Welcome back to the Built Ford Tough Dugout Show, presented by your Arkansas Ford dealers. Test drive Ford F-150, the official truck of the Razorbacks, at a dealer near you. Time now to head inside the Hogs dugout and hear from head coach Dave Van Horn. Here's the voice of the Razorbacks, Phil Elson.
Dave, already I know this is just a different experience for you and your team here in Hoover, because it's Friday, and quite often we're here last Saturday and waiting a few days to play a game. How's that changed the experience?
Yeah, it's just different. It's obviously it gets drawn out when you, and kind of to explain, you know, we finished on the road in SEC play for like 10 years in a row until this year. So it's usually over this way. I think the farthest away we were one year, we finished at A&M, and for us to fly back to Fayetteville, hang out a few days, and then fly over here was a lot more expensive than just coming here. So that's kind of what we've had to do, is just get here, whether it's by bus or by plane, and it's right after the game on that Saturday, the end of the season, regular season. So this time we were at home, hung out a couple days, worked out, and then we flew over on Wednesday.
And you get to treat this just like any other weekend, which also makes that much different than any other SEC tournament.
Yeah, and that's due to us, finishing in the top four. We finished second overall. It was a race to the end, to be honest with you. Everybody was good, and it was tight amongst the top 5-6 teams. And feel fortunate that we ended up second. Obviously, we would have liked to have finished first, but you never know how it's going to go in a 30-game schedule.
Well, you get Ole Miss today, and I just think back to the series you guys played with the Rebels and how close it was to Ole Miss winning that series. And that last game was one of the big games of the year. It was. That was a great series. They whipped us game one. Didn't go well at all. First SEC game on the road. Just didn't work out. The next day we came back, got behind early, 3 or 4 runs, came back and won the game, kind of going away. Offense kicked it into gear, and then again on Sunday, it was a wild one. I think we were down a couple runs going into the last inning at a minimum, and we were down to our last out. I remember Davlin hit a line drive single, scored a run to tie it. And I think the next pitch, Baheva Aloy hit a 3-run opposite field home run, and on 2 pitches we scored 4 runs, and
and went into the bottom of the ninth and held them and won the series. It was a huge swing for us.
More with Coach Van Horn in just a moment here at the SEC Tournament on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
The Hog Call, the siren song of the Cardinal and White. Heard in every corner of Baum Walker Stadium, it's a clear warning for any foe that dares get in their way. Ford knows that strong traditions start with leadership, like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 48 years straight. Drive F-150, official truck of the Razorbacks, only at your Arkansas Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2024 total sales.
Look, you already know eating right and staying active make a big difference, but weight loss surgery could get you back in the game. Check out the Bariatric and Metabolic Institute at Encore Medical Center in Saline County, part of the Arkansas Heart Hospital team. Their bariatric experts can help you lose the extra weight, get off medications, manage diabetes, and more. Visit arheart.com/BMI now for details. That's arheart.com/BMI for weight loss surgery. Your ticket to better health.
A lot of cities claim to be unique, but are they really? We're like Babe Ruth and Al Capone. Do they sell beer made from thermal spring water that comes straight from the ground below? Do any of these places have a street that has a gangster museum on one side of the road and a national park on the other? Let me go ahead and answer that for you. They don't, because none of them are Hot Springs, Arkansas. For more info, visit hotsprings.org.
We'll be back with more of the Built Ford Tough Dugout Show presented by your Arkansas Ford dealers and the Ford F-150 after this short break. You're listening to the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
As we all live longer, age really is just a number, but retirement is so much more than one. Edward Jones Financial Advisors want to know what you want out of your retirement so we can help you get there. Together, we can look at the big picture and make a strategy to help you reach your goals, because you can't prepare for the unexpected if you don't know where you're headed. Contact your local Edward Jones Financial Advisor to get started today. Visit edwardjones.com or stop by your local Edward Jones office. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Welcome back, Hog fans, for more scratching action from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. This is looking like a good one.
First appearance of the dime we've seen all season, Tom.
The luck is thick in here tonight. After all that scratching, she's a winner!
The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. Every day's a chance to win big. Pick up a ticket today. This is winning. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Our pregame visit with head coach Dave Van Horn continues on the Built Ford Tough Dugout Show, presented by your Arkansas Ford dealers. Test drive Ford F-150, the official truck of the Razorbacks, at a dealer near you. Now, once again, with Coach Van Horn, here's Phil Elson.
There's a couple guys I want to talk about in your lineup right now. One of them that's been in your lineup when he's been healthy, but now that really looked like Logan Maxwell was back for the Tennessee series after the LSU series, in which it looks like he was still kind of coming back.
Yeah, you know, having the hamstring issues is rough. He's had them for years. It's too bad for him. It's taken away from his running game, his bunting game, because he's really good at it. But the last week or two, it's been the healthiest he's felt probably since the beginning of the season, when he kind of tweaked it a little bit into the season. And you can tell that his swing's better. Plus, he's got bats under his belt lately after a layoff. So it's definitely helped him. And he's been a good part of our offense. And even if he's not getting hits, he's usually advancing runners, getting pitchers' pitch counts up, and advancing runners with bunts too. And so he's been great for us.
Also, the last 3 weeks, Cam Kojal has been the starting second baseman. It's fun because he's all SEC second team at first base, where he's played most of the year. But he's been able to stay there because Reese Robinette has been playing so well for you guys.
Yeah, Reese is playing really well, and Frazier's able to go now. But it's a situation where he's pretty much our swingman, utility guy. And, we try to keep him healthy. If we need him, to fill in or play. But he's on go if we need him.
Well, it's also the left side of your infield has been so stable all year long. It's been Iredale and Vahiva Aloy. The right side, you've had to make some changes, and injuries are the reason why, but it seems like it's stabilized right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're going with it. We've been playing with it and winning with it. It's something, sometimes in baseball, you just go with what works, and Frazier's a good player, and as good as our, some of the guys that are out there, he's just younger, and his day's coming. But he did a great job while he was in, healthy, and he hurt his back, and it's still something that we have to keep an eye on. So it's good to know that we have at least an extra infielder if there's an issue.
What's important for Zach Root today against Ole Miss, because it didn't go very well the first time around?
Yeah, the first time around he was behind in the count a lot. He was really up in the zone from what I remember. I think he was a little too amped up, and just got away from him. Pitch count early was way up, and we knew he wasn't going to last more than 3 or 4 innings. And we got behind. Then they got a couple big hits when he walked some people, and like I said, it didn't go our way. And hopefully today's game will be more of what we've seen from Zach throughout the year.
Good luck against the Rebels, Dave.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to look at the lineups for the Rebs and Hogs coming up in a moment on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
The electric cooperatives got its start lighting Arkansas, and we continue to meet that demand with every resource we can deliver. We're powering your life where you live every single day through one of 17 local cooperatives, each unique, always united, and in your community. Our mission, to provide reliable, affordable, and responsible power to every corner of Arkansas. It's the local hometown cooperative way, because we're better connected together. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas.
I'm here with the shooter, Pat Bradley, for Saracen Casino Resort.
There's Vegas, and then there's Vegas, Arkansas style. Experience all the fun and games of 2,000 slots, 45 table games, poker, and world-class dining right here at Arkansas's favorite place to win, Saracen Casino.
Just like your shooting, Pat, Saracen is so pure.
You know what they say, if you can actually do it, it ain't bragging.
Join us at Saracen Casino Resort, only 40 minutes from Little Rock.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey Razorback fans, Phil Elson here with some fantastic news. Harps Food Stores has a game-changing mobile app called My Hometown Rewards. With this app, you can unlock incredible savings, get exclusive deals, personalized coupons, and even a digital shopping list, all at your fingertips. And as a new feature, coupon savings are now offered instantly at checkout. Whether you're stocking up for the big game or just grabbing some snacks, the My Hometown Rewards app from Harps makes it easy. It's a win-win for Razorback fans like you. Harps, hometown fresh.
Stay tuned. We'll have more of the Built Ford Tough Dugout Show, presented by your Arkansas Ford dealers and the Ford F-150 coming up. This is Arkansas Baseball from Learfield.
You sit in traffic now, but later, there's an ice cold reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. You've earned this rich golden lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. Because you know, all your patience is paid out in gold. You remain calm through honks, bumper to bumper, and people yelling. Come on, move! You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
The 11th game of the SEC football tradition known as the Battle Line Rivalry between your Arkansas Razorbacks and the Mizzou Tigers is complete. Look for the tradition presented by Shelter Insurance to grow in the coming years as we continue to heat up the border and support our student athletes with this new rivalry, the Battle Line Rivalry, presented by Shelter Insurance. Find a Shelter agent near you at shelterinsurance.com.
Taking you right up to first pitch about 10 minutes from right now. It's the Built Ford Tough Dugout Show, and always presented by the Arkansas Ford dealers and the Ford F-150. Like the Razorbacks, this truck has a strong tradition, earned by outstanding capability and smart features like a mobile generator, and that's how to create a legacy. And the official truck of the Razorbacks. They're introducing the Ole Miss and Razorback starting lineup, so let's do the exact same thing. Our lineups are presented by Daspit Law Firm, proud to be the official injury lawyers for for the Razorbacks. Hogs are ranked 4th. RPI's ranked 5th. They're 43-12 overall and finished with the 2nd overall seed in the SEC at 20-10. Dave Van Horn today has this lineup. Charles Davalon brings an 8-game hitting streak into the leadoff spot. He'll start in left field. SEC Player of the Year, Vehiba Aloy batting 2nd at shortstop. Right fielder Logan Maxwell batting 3rd. Kahio Aloy batting cleanup. He'll be the DH. Ryder Helfrich has hit in 6 straight games, 4 doubles, 2 homers during the streak. He'll bat 5th and catch. Second baseman Cam Kozel hitting 6th. Brent Iredale batting 7th at third base. Reese Robinette making his 9th start at first base, batting 8th. Justin Thomas Jr. in center field, batting 9th. Now for the Ole Miss Rebels, ranked 16th. This is a really important game for the Rebels if they want to host. A win would go a long way to getting them there. They have the number 17 RPI. Of course, there's only 16 regional hosts. They're 38-18 after win over Florida on Wednesday. They finished 16-17 in the SEC, and that was good for the number 7 seed. Mike Bianco, head coach. He has this lineup today. Mitchell Sanford batting leadoff in left field. Luke Hill, their top hitter, .343 batting average. The third baseman batting 2nd. Second baseman Judd Utermark with a team-high 16 home runs batting 3rd. Will Furness is the Ole Miss first baseman and cleanup batter. Right fielder Ryan Moorman batting 5th. Colin Reuter makes a rare start. He'll be the DH and batting 6th. Only the 13th game Reuter starts. Austin Foley, a power-hitting catcher, batting 7th. Isaac Humphrey in center field batting 8th. Luke Cheng at shortstop batting 9th. And the starting pitchers, Riley Maddox gets the ball today for the Rebels. Maddox in his 3rd year. He's a right-hander, a senior out of Pearl, Mississippi, and making start number 15. Records 5-5. Allows a .261 batting average. 59 in a third innings. His ERA 5.46. Goes along with 25 walks, 60 strikeouts. And for the Razorbacks, left-hander Zach Root Jr. out of Fort Myers, Florida, transferred to Arkansas from East Carolina. Start number 15, 6-4 with a .230 batting average allowed, 75 2/3 innings. Root's ERA 4.16 goes along with 26 walks, 102 strikeouts. Those are the starting lineups. Stick around as we come back in just a few moments. We'll have Bubba Carpenter return with keys to the game and get you set for first pitch. Arkansas and Ole Miss. Doesn't matter if it's exhibition, if it's regular season, if it's Hoover, or if it's in the College World Series. It's always big time when the Hogs and Rebels meet on a baseball field. Stay with us. More in just a moment on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
We, the hungry of this burger-loving nation, deserve the Sonic Smasher. Always made to order and hand-smashed into greatness. America, today we smash free. One nation under melty cheese with liberty and a truckload of sauce for all. Meet our Smashinal Burger.
The Sonic Smasher. Live free. Eat Sonic. See menu for details.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Z Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Visit your local Kubota dealer for a demo today.
Visit ArkansasKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
Quit tobacco today with Be Well Arkansas. Be Well Arkansas can help you be healthier, happier, and more active by quitting tobacco. And you can do it all with local resources at no cost to you. Call 833-283-WELL or visit BeWellArkansas.org today for free help, because it's never too late to be well. Brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health, your tobacco settlement dollars at work, and Be Well Arkansas.
We'll be back with more of the Built Ford Tough Dugout Show, presented by your Arkansas Ford dealers in the Ford F-150 after this short break. You're listening to the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp. Refreshing. And ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
children of Arkansas deserve the highest quality health care, and as the state's only hospital system solely dedicated to caring for children, that's exactly what Arkansas Children's delivers. Whether you're calling the Hogs from Springdale, Jonesboro, Little Rock, or Pine Bluff, Arkansas Children's provides care close to home so that even the tiniest of Razorback fans can have more time being kids. At Arkansas Children's, we make kids better today and healthier tomorrow.
It's all in front of us. Just win as many as you can, get to the end of the season, and have our guys ready to go.
Root's 0-1. Braswell bunts back to the pitcher, and Root tries to dive to the runner, and he dives and he tags him, and he got him. What a play by Zach Root.
When your starting pitchers showing the team in the field, and players in the dugout, and coaches that he's going to be all right there in the zone, and with electric stuff, you get excited. You get in and out of that dugout quick.
A swing and a high drive to right field again for the second time in the game. Big Country out of here for the lead. Oh my goodness, he hit it over the video board. It's swimming with the fishes.
One thing that this team does a really good job is just turning the page. I feel like everybody comes to the field with a smile.
The energy in, the next day, just staying positive.
The goal is to win the game that day and not worry about what happened in the past.
On the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield, welcome to live play-by-play coverage of Arkansas baseball in the SEC Baseball Tournament. Razorback Baseball is brought to you by West Rock Coffee, produced right here in Arkansas. West Rock is proud to be the official coffee of the Razorbacks. Your Arkansas Ford dealers. Test drive Ford F-150, the official truck of the Razorbacks, at a dealer near you. By Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield, trusted by Arkansans for more than 75 years for reliable, affordable health insurance. Take good care, Arkansas. Coca-Cola, proud to be the official soft drink sponsor of the Razorbacks. Saracen Casino Resort. Vegas, Arkansas style. Sonic Drive-In. Sonic has been a proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics for over 25 years. Live free. Eat Sonic. By UAMS Health, the official orthopedics and sports medicine provider for the Razorbacks. First Security Bank. It's banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. By Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please drink responsibly. Summit Utilities. Delivering natural gas to Razorback fans across Arkansas. By Shelter Insurance. For award-winning service, find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. Bud Anderson, the official heating and cooling provider of the Razorbacks. By Harps. Quality foods, hometown fresh. It's that simple at Harps. Arkansas Heart Hospital. Dedicated to your heart. And by Visit Hot Springs. Time for a road trip to Hot Springs, Arkansas. Learn more at hotsprings.org. Now, back to the stadium inside the Hoover Met. Here's the voice of Razorback baseball, Phil Elson.
It's the start of the baseball postseason for the fourth-ranked Razorbacks. Welcome back inside the Hoover Met, the home of the SEC Tournament. Let's have a listen to Keys to the Game, being presented by Keller Williams Market Pro Realty. Visit them at kwrazorbacks.com because every Hog needs a new home. My partner, Bubba Carpenter. Bubba, how do the Hogs move on to the semifinals today?
Phil, I think it's important that Zach Root get off to a good start. He struggled against these guys last time out. I think he's looking for a little revenge. So I think it's important for him to get off to a good start in this game. Pump the strike zone. It's the big yard. It plays well to the way he pitches. I think offensively, we're going to do well against Riley Maddox. I think his stuff plays into our barrels. I feel like we're going to put some runs on the board. It's just important for Zach to shut them down.
It's been good baseball so far in the SEC Tournament. Anytime the Hogs and Rebels play, it's an exciting game. Stay with us. First pitch after this from Oaklawn and Hot Springs.
Experience luxury at Oaklawn Hot Springs, Arkansas, where the excitement never stops. Elevate your gaming experience at our world-class smoke-free casino and enjoy an unparalleled stay at our hotel. Find bliss at the Astral Spa, embark on culinary adventures, and witness the thrill of live thoroughbred racing through May 3rd. To book your experience, visit oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
From long balls to punch-outs, Arkansas baseball plays here.
Go-Go Squeeze is super excited to be on the field with University of Arkansas athletes. With a variety of deliciously fruity flavors, there's something for the whole Razorback family to enjoy. Go-Go Squeeze offers delicious fruit blend pouches that are gluten-free and nut-free. For active people, Go-Go Squeeze Active Fruit Blend with electrolytes can help replenish some of the essential minerals lost during exercise. Check out our whole line of pantry-friendly fruit and dairy products at most major retailers and online. So grab a Go-Go Squeeze and let's cheer on our Razorbacks together. Go Hogs!
Wood Power Sports is passionate about serving your off-road and on-road needs. Between our 3 locations, we carry brands like Polaris, Can-Am, Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, KTM, CF Moto, and Suzuki. We are your one-stop shop for everything power sports. Our service and parts teams are experienced and will work hard to keep you and your vehicle on the road or trail. Come see us in Fayetteville, Springdale, or Harrison, or visit us online at woodpowersports.com. We look forward to earning your business. Wood Power Sports, a solid name you can trust. Go Hogs!
Just a moment or so away from first pitch. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield. All right, we're at the Hoover Mat. Got a good crowd on hand. Hogs fans look like they outnumber Rebels fans a little bit. There's a lot of LSU fans that are already sitting in this stadium in anticipation of their game later tonight against Tennessee. These are the quarterfinals. Semifinals are for tomorrow. 3 o'clock is when the Hogs would play if they win this. And Zach Root is ready with Mitchell Sanford in the batter's box. First pitch on the way at 3:02, and it is swung on and missed by Sanford. And already it's different from Root's last start because his first pitch was hit for a home run in Oxford.
I like it. That's a good sign.
3:02 first pitch, 83 degrees. Soft breeze in from left. This is lefty-lefty, and the 0-1 from Root. Sanford takes a fastball outside. 1-1. Mitchell Sanford, Luke Hill, Judd Utermark, the top third of the batting order. These are really good hitters. Sanford's hitting .304 with a .407 on base and 15 home runs. Root brings a 1-1. Low outside, ball 2. Ole Miss has a lot of power, close to the numbers that the Hogs have. Hogs are third in the SEC with 109 home runs. Ole Miss fourth, 102 home runs. The 2-1 to Sanford. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's a good pitch right there. Went with a cutter.
Hogs average 8.3 runs a game. 8.7 in conference. Ole Miss a little under 8 runs per game this year, just under 7 in conference. 2-2 the count from Zach Root to Mitchell Sanford. Start of the game. Hogs put a 3-man shift on the right side now, and the pitch on the way is just low, called by Scott Klein. The count full to start this game. Root has walked 26 and struck out 102 this year. Ole Miss will take their walks. Root with that customary deep breath. Now the wide and the 3-2. Sanford walks on a pitch outside. 2 swings and misses, 4 takes. And a man on base for Luke Hill.
He didn't miss bad, Phil. Just fastball. He pulled it a little bit glove side.
The good thing to see is that his fastball velocity is where you'd like to see it here. Every once in a while, Zach may have one of those games where he's in the low 90s. He's in the mid-90s to start today. Well, you never like a leadoff walk, though. Sanford can steal a base. That's one difference between the Hogs and the Rebels. Ole Miss, a little more of a base-stealing team. 5th in the league. The pitch to Hill. Double play ground ball shortstop. Aloy boots it. Picks it up. Tries for the out at first base and overthrows the base. It's picked up by Reese Robinette. Fires to second, attempting to get Hill, but the throw is late. Man, had a double play grounder, and we haven't seen Vahiba Aloy make too many mistakes in the field this year. That's a big one. Ole Miss runners second and third, no outs.
Yeah, you're right, Phil. That's about as routine as it gets right there. Just kind of came up on him last minute, kind of ate him up.
He may end up with I don't know if it'd be 1 or 2 errors on the play here because the bobble costs him the out at second base. The throw overthrows first, and that awards Hill second base.
Yeah,
Vahiba's only made 4 errors on the year. That's certainly going to be his 5th. Oh, man, he had a double play ball. Now it's runner second and third with nobody out for Judd Utermark. Infield will play back here, and Root starts him with a changeup. Ripped into left for a base hit. Will score Sanford. Hill holds at third base. And already it's 1-0 and no outs in the top of the first for Ole Miss.
Well, not the start that we'd hoped for, Phil. The good news is we're going to score off of Riley Maddox.
Utermark driving in his 60th run of the season. And a terrible start to this game for the Razorbacks. Leadoff walk, you never like to see that. Double play ball turns into no outs, and a rare error on the SEC Player of the Year. And then Utermark extends a hitting streak to 6 with an RBI single. Brings Will Furness, cleanup batter. Hogs looking for 2 on the lefty. Root starts him off speed outside. Ball 1. So they've scored the error, only one error on Aloy, and it's on the throw. I guess they said that he would have had enough time if he had thrown accurately to first base, but I don't think he would have gotten Hill anyway. Be a 1-0 on Furness. Root drops a strike on the inside corner, and it's 1-1. Furness, a dangerous hitter with 9 home runs this year, 5 in SEC play. He's at 2 in the previous 4 games. And a 1-1 count. Root kicks and deals. Furness takes low. 2-1. Furness batting .288. This is somebody you could get a double play on if you get the right kind of ground ball, and Root's already gotten one of those kind of grounders in this inning. Root from the belt with a 2-1. Furness takes a high strike 2. Evens the count up.
Yeah, that's a good cutter right there, outside corner. You know, the key right here for Zach is just to relax. You may have to give up the run at third. Just keep making pitches. Try to get a ground ball or a strikeout right here. The key is to minimize the damage.
Root paying some attention to Utermark. Tosses over to first base. Utermark stole a base yesterday. 7 for 12 stealing bases this year. I think this would be one of those situations. They may think about putting a guy in motion. Ole Miss stealing 69 bases this year, 92 attempts. They've been caught quite a bit. Root's 2-2 to Furness is bounced foul. And I'm reaching for a breaking ball outside. Still 2-2 on Will Furness. Just the first inning. No outs and a run home for Ole Miss. And runners at first and third. Luke Hill at third base. Judd Utermark at first. Utermark wanted to get some of Root's attention, and he is getting some of it. Root's ready. Glances at first. Now the pitch is fouled off. Came with a fastball on the hands. And Furness pokes it to the third base screen. Hogs are the home team. They're in the first base dugout. Got the customary Friday home whites with the pinstripes. 2-2 the count. Root sets, checking first in the pitch. Outside, Furness goes full. Second full count already. The previous 2 batters, Hill and Utermark, each put the first pitch of their at-bat into play. Hill for the error at shortstop, and then Utermark with a run-scoring single. Ryan Moorman waiting on deck. Here's Root's pitch. He struck him out swinging. Didn't. Foul tipped out of Helfrich Smith. Looked like Ryder might have had it. And Root looks a little bit disturbed that he didn't get him here.
Yeah, he made a perfect pitch on the outside corner. Kind of a half swing, and it just caught the tip of his bat.
Oh, and it was in Ryder's mitt. It was in there. And it fell out. So it goes to a 9th pitch. You're going to make sure this doesn't turn into a disaster inning. 3-2, caught him looking. Strike 3 called. Furness thought it was outside. He'll slap the bat, walk across home plate. 1 away in the first. And it's a big first out to get on strikes, too.
Yeah, that's a giant pitch right there. I just painted that outside corner. He thought it was outside. It looked to me like it was a strike.
Well, a little difficult time, figuring out balls and strikes from back here. This is the farthest away from home plate that we're set up in any SEC ballpark. And we do not get the TrackMan strike zone monitor either. Ryan Moorman, a dangerous right-handed power hitter, came from Illinois after 3 years with the Illini. Root starts him with a pitch fouled back. Strike 1. Mormon's hitting .271, .384 on base percentage. His only year with the Rebels, 11 homers, 15 doubles. Guy hit over 30 homers in 3 years at Illinois. Root from the belt with a 1-strike count on Mormon. This is a double play candidate. Pitch. Foul tipped and held on by Helfrich. Strike 2. Good changeup.
It's a really good changeup right there. Good arm speed. A double play would be nice, but we'll take the K if we can get it.
And Mormon has as many strikeouts as base hits, 57 each way. It's .271 batting average, .271 strikeout rate. Here's the pitch. Fly ball right field, going to drop in front of Maxwell. Plays it on a bounce, and it's 2-0 Ole Miss. Hill trots in from third base with an unearned run. An 0-2 base hit to make it 2-0 Rebels. Still just one out. And 4 of the first 5 Ole Miss batters have reached base.
Yeah, that's the frustrating thing right there, Phil. When they shouldn't hit a 0-2 pitch that hard.
Well, you want to talk about mistakes. There have been some mistakes they've made this inning. Root walking the leadoff batter. Any leadoff walk is a mistake. A rare error on Vahiba Aloy. And now an 0-2 pitch for a single. Not the way you want to see the postseason start, that's for sure. Colin Reuter's next. And he starts by taking a slider high for ball 1. Reuter's a right-hand batting DH. He's a catcher if he plays a position. This guy's got some size to him. 6'2", 235. Transfer out of BYU, so a teammate of Kahil Aloy last year. He's only making his 13th start. And Root throws 1-0. Outside, way outside. Ball 2. Reuters 12 for 35. Of those 12 hits, 5 extras, 3 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Hogs outfield is they're about regular depth. Straightaway and left, Avalon, Thomas in center, Maxwell in right. 2-1, 1 out. Roots 2-0 is grounded left side. Iredale makes a play at third base, throws to Koza for 1. The relay to first, and a stretch by Robinette. They called him safe. Called him safe at first base. Robinette stretching towards the outfield. His foot was off. Get the force at second, but that's it. 5-4 on the play.
Ooh, another mistake. That's a great play by Iredale.
Should have been a double play. It takes a good throw. But Kozel's throw a little bit on the outfield side. Even with, and I think Robinette could have stayed on the base there too. Just you can see how he's stretching. This is not a good first inning at all. This is a team that's played, and I won't say they've played mistake-free baseball this year. Nobody has. But if there's a thing that stands out about Arkansas compared to a lot of other teams, the Razorbacks are one of the best teams in the nation in the field, one of the best teams in the nation at not walking opposing hitters. And we've seen 2 of those things happen at the most inopportune times this inning. Austin Foley's the number 7 batter. Root throws a fastball for a high strike. Here's what I think. Get it out of your system now.
Yes.
Get it out of your system right now.
Well, that was a great play by Iredale. It was almost a base hit into left. I mean, everything looked like a routine double play. Once he fielded that ball, just made a bad throw.
Root's 0-1. Dropped low, a curve, 1 ball, 1 strike. I mean, you look at this, really, Root's gotten 2 double play balls. Bubba, he's gotten 5 outs this inning.
Yeah, he really has.
He's gotten 5 outs. If you just turn one of those 2 double plays, you're off the field. And even if you turn the first double play, well, there's no runs for Ole Miss. 1-1 on Austin Foley. Root deals. There's a high drive to left field. That's way out of here. A 3-run homer and 5 runs are across in the first for Ole Miss.
Well, you can't give a good team that many outs, Phil. I mean, that was a changeup right there, belt high, and that ball was hammered.
17th home run for Austin Foley. And this has turned into a disastrous first inning.
Center fielder number 51, Isaac Humphrey.
Isaac Humphreys, the number 8 batter. Lefty versus lefty. Root winds up, and it's high, ball 1.
Honestly, Phil, Roots made one bad pitch, and it was that changeup right there.
1-0 to Humphrey. Pitch is high again, ball 2.
What you start to worry about, though, is the amount of pitches this inning. We're already up to 28 pitches.
Well, there goes Matt Hobbs to the mound. If there's one thing they will not do, it's treat this game as must win. And you would not keep Zach Root out there if he goes much more than, what do you think, 35 pitches this? You get to 40, that's it. He's not going to come back out.
No, you got to have an out right here.
This is stunning to watch in this top of the first inning. The first half inning of the postseason is one of the worst half innings we've seen all year.
I think the worst.
Certainly would be in the top 2 or 3.
I mean, you did say it, though. If we're going to do it here and get it out of our system. Yeah, not the start we're looking for.
Do it now. Do it in the top of the first inning, and then play another good 8.5 innings and win this game.
I mean, I say he made one bad pitch. He made 2 bad pitches. The 0-2 pitch on the base hit the right, that's not a good pitch either. Got to make a better pitch, 0-2.
Humphrey steps back in with a 2-0 count. And Root winds up. There's a strike.
Still good velo, 94 right there.
Humphrey with a .290 average, 10 home runs. They do have that power up and down the lineup. Bright red shoes as well. Here's the 2-1. A swing and a miss with a fastball. Iredale leaves third base to go to the right side. You look back at Root's start against Ole Miss the first time around and gave up 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second, and then 1 in the third. 2 more in the fourth. Pitch fouled off by Humphrey. Stays alive with a 2-2 count. And that was a game where there were some mistakes made as well in the field. Some infield singles against Root. An error at third base. The 2-2 on the way to Humphrey. High, ball 3.
Well, the games that I've watched down here so far in the SEC tournament field, the team that makes the mistakes have lost. You know, OU yesterday in the third inning, drop a routine pop-up, turns into a 3-run inning.
The next pitch to Humphrey. Struck him out swinging. Got him on a high fastball. And an 8-batter top of the first inning finally ends for Ole Miss. They score 5 runs, 3 base hits, 1 error, nobody left. 5 across for the Rebels before the Hogs even bat. They'll come up after this from UAMS Health.
My name is Trevor Brazil. I'm a power forward for the Arkansas Razorbacks. The fan base is crazy in a good way. They always bring energy. We would struggle in games without them. As soon as I got injured, I knew I was probably going to have to, get some type of surgery. Immediately I just kind of put all my trust in UAMS. Knowing that we have doctors always around during the game, it makes you feel good because, if anything happens, they're always right there.
UAMS Health, the official orthopedics and sports medicine provider for Razorback Athletics.
You know that list? The one that starts at mow the yard and ends somewhere around level the driveway. Well, your John Deere tractor is built for giving that honey-do list a run for its money. The Lawn Patrol is built for keeping grass in line. The Chore Buster is built for hard-packed progress. And the Diamond Digger is built for pushing forward when the shovel gave up. Whatever the task, Greenway's tractor packages are built with one thing in mind, making more time for what matters. Find yours today at gogreenway.com.
With Toyota's versatile SUVs, you'll be ready for any adventure, no matter who you're adventuring with. Bringing your furry co-pilot along, the RAV4's Power Pack Performance is bound to spark some zoomies. Right, buddy? Going out on the town with your partner in crime? Scoop them up in the Corolla Cross. Its sleek design will make up for the fact that you're always fashionably late. No matter who you're rolling with, there's a Toyota SUV fit just for you. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota is a proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics. Razorback power, razor sharp style. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability.
You're listening to Arkansas Baseball in the SEC Baseball Tournament. Here again, Phil Elson.
About as rough of a top of the first inning as the Hogs have experienced all year long. And now we'll see what they do in the bottom of the first against Riley Maddox. Time for a road trip. Hit the jackpot with a trip to Hot Springs National Park, Arkansas, and its #1 attraction, Oaklawn Hot Springs. You can plan a trip at hotsprings.org and oaklawn.com. Davalon, Behiva, Aloy, Logan Maxwell, in the bottom of the first against Riley Maddox. Hogs saw Maddox March 15th. He lasted 4 innings, pitched into the 5th. Didn't get a batter in the 5th inning, charged with 3 runs and a 12-3 Razorback win. And he starts Davalon with a first pitch strike. Maddox comes in 5-5 in 14 starts. His SEC record, though, 2-4 in 10 starts. 0-1 on Davalon. Here's the pitch. A strike on the inside with a cutter. 0-2. Maddox allows a .261 batting average overall. The SEC hit .277 against him. He gave up 9 homers, all of them in the SEC. And the 0-2 to Chuck. Grounded at first base, right near the line. It's Furness picking it up, 3 unassisted for the out. What do we remember about Maddox's repertoire?
He's fastball slider change guy, kind of a stock guy. He's 93 mile an hour fastball. That's a little cutter right there he threw. Pretty much a stock righty. I think a guy that we're going to hit, Phil.
Well, the Hogs have hit against him pretty hard in 2 starts in 2 years. 7 runs in 9 innings. Here's Aloy, and Vahiva takes a high fastball, 1-0. SEC Player of the Year, hitting .358, 82 hits. 82 hits leads the team. .358 is 5th best in the league. His 18 home runs, ranked 5th. 1-0 pitch right there, taken for a strike, 1-1. Maddox throwing 94. He'll get a little movement on that pitch, too.
Yeah, he's got a little arm side run on it, nothing crazy. More of a sinker ball guy.
Maddox kicks with a 1-1. Slider way outside. Ball 2. They play the left side of the infield. Luke Hill at third base. Luke Cheng at shortstop. And they're at their normal positioning. The second baseman, Utermark, who was the third baseman a couple of months ago, he's slight up the middle. Furness off first base. 2-1 pitch to Aloy. It bounced foul. Is ahead of an off-speed or a slider.
Yeah, a little slider there. Not a lot of break on that slider. Kind of a hanger, and Vahiva got around it a little bit.
Aloy drags himself back into the box with a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Lays off the slider again. Ball 3. These 2 sliders haven't been close.
No, they haven't. And the good thing is you can tell Vahiva's seen it right out of his hand. So he's not fooled by that pitch.
Maxwell on deck, and then Cahillo Aloy. 3-2 count. The pitch to Vahiva. Low, a fastball, a close ball 4. Hogs have a 1-out base runner for Maxwell. Rebels lead 5-0 in the bottom of the first inning. Already Ole Miss is 1-0 against Arkansas today. Softball fell 9-7 in the opening game of the Super Regional. The tying runs left at second and third base. Tough way to start the Super, but you live to play another game tomorrow and hopefully keep it going to Sunday. Here's Maxwell, righty versus lefty. He'll pinch the middle infielders tight. Play the third baseman Hill off the line. First pitch is lined into left center, a base hit. Sanford cuts it off in left. Aloy going first to third, the throw to second base. Line drive single Logan Maxwell, setting up Cahillo Aloy with runners of the corners.
It's a good piece of hitting right there. That's a really good swing by Logan Maxwell. It's a first pitch fastball out over the plate and just went with it.
That to me is when you really know that Maxwell's on. When he hits the ball the opposite way with such authority. And now that he's aboard, it's Cahillo Aloy with a team high 68 runs batted in, ranking second in the SEC. Drove in 28 of them in SEC play, and Cahillo had 2 RBIs against Ole Miss. He was 5 for 16 against the Rebels with a home run. You remember that homer came after his brother had homered. You had the Aloys go back-to-back in Oxford. Righty-righty match. First pitch is a cutter for a strike. Cahillo batting .345, 13 home runs, .291 in the SEC, 4 home runs in the league. They play him deep in center, straightaway and left, and the second baseman Utermark covering second. Throw to first from Maddox, and Maxwell crawls back in.
Be nice to chip away right here, Phil, and put a couple up on the board in this first inning.
It'd be nice for Cahillo to get a hold of one.
That would be even better.
Here's the 0-1. A slider way inside. Maddox still hasn't thrown a good slider yet. Maybe one to Davalon, I think. And the other aspect about playing here, and I'm not quite sure if the ball's going to carry today or not. It's a big ballpark. Cajillo can hit it out of any park. Pitch. Ground ball slowly into shortstop. Cheng charges one play at first base and throws out Cajillo. Vejiva scores. 5-1 with Maxwell at second base.
Yeah, Cajillo got jammed right there. That was a fastball, little bit of run in on him. Just didn't quite get to it.
We're able to at least scratch back one run for now, and there's a runner at second for Ryder Helfrich, speaking of guys that are driving in runs these days. And this was why he was moved up into the 5 spot to drive runs in here. Sometimes he's been batting 5th against lefties, but he's up there against a righty today because of the way he hit against Tennessee. Here's the first pitch. Outside. Helfrich against Tennessee was 4 for 12 with 2 home runs and drove in 7. Of course, he had the grand slam on Saturday. Only 1 for 11 and going against Ole Miss, but that was a different Ryder Helfrich from 2 months ago. 1-0 the count. Maxwell has a good lead at second. The pitch, grounded foul.
Yeah, Ryder chased a 2-seam fastball in right there. Probably would have ended up a ball.
Mentioned it's a big park. 405 straightaway center. This is the deepest center field we'll see outside of Omaha. 335 down the lines. It's a symmetrical ballpark. You can rob a homer at any spot. Ball and a strike on Helfrich. Maxwell gets a look at second. Pitch outside, ball 3. Pardon me, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Helfrich's hitting .316, .337 in the SEC. It's one of the things about so many of these batters, Bubba, is that their numbers out of conference, the SEC numbers are better.
Yeah, I love it.
2-1 pitch. Helfrich's early. Grounds it almost off of Bobby Warnes' foot. Foul. Bobby did a nice little skip over the ball.
Yeah, that's a little cutter inside. But, you know, it wouldn't be a Ryder Helfrich at bat if he didn't hook at least 1 or 2 foul, right?
So I keep wondering to myself, why is Bobby that close to the plate knowing who's hitting? 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. A third strike called on the outside corner. Helfrich shakes his head, walking away, and plate umpire Scott Klein says it was a strike. That'll end the first inning for the Razorbacks. A run on 1 hit and a runner stranded at second base. End of 1 inning on a Friday in the SEC tournament. Ole Miss 5, the Razorbacks 1. This is Arkansas baseball from Learfield.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support. With friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
From your favorite drive-thru coffee to the iced tea from the hotel lobby, many of the beverages you enjoy every day come from Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee Company. As the official sponsor of the Razorbacks, West Rock Coffee fuels our team and customers all over the world. We are the trusted provider of coffee, tea, flavors, extracts, and ingredients to the brands you love, and we are dedicated to making a difference. Learn more about West Rock Coffee's global impact at westrockcoffee.com.
Ole Miss scores 1 earned run at the top of the first inning. The Razorbacks answer with 1 earned run on the bottom of the first. The problem is Ole Miss scored 4 unearned runs in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, we lost the first inning. Let's win the rest of them.
Another 8 to go. Luke Cheng, Mitchell Sanford, Luke Hill due up against Zach Root after a 33-pitch first inning. If he would have faced another batter, if he wouldn't have gotten Humphrey on that 3-2 count, I don't think we would have seen Zach Root back in the second inning.
I don't think so. They were starting to rustle around in the bullpen, and they are starting to move around a little bit down there.
Well, they sent pitchers to the bullpen during the last half-inning break, and there are a couple of guys walking around. Chang is the starting shortstop and leads off the second, hitting ninth. Right-hand batter. Root starts him with a pitch outside. Chang had showed bunt. Ball one.
Need a quick inning right here, Phil.
Yeah, if Zach Root's got a 5 or 6 pitch inning in him, this is the one.
Yeah.
Or this would be at least the time where you'd request it. Is 1-0 to Chang. There's a change outside, ball 2. Chang's hitting .256, .430 on base, 4 home runs. He had a couple of hits against Zach Root and then got hit by a pitch his third at-bat in March. The pitch hit him in the helmet, and he was out the rest of the series in concussion protocol. Root's 2-0 pitch. High, ball 3.
Boy, Zach, he's wanted those last 2 pitches he thought were strikes.
Well, they're getting guys up in the pen now, moving around more. The 3-0 is a strike on Chang. Got a man up in the bullpen right now. Gabe Gackles warming up. 3-1 pitch on the way to Chang is a strike 2 call. Chang taking each of the first 5 with no inkling of swinging.
Yeah, he was taking all the way right there.
3-2 pitch. Chang fouls it off. I think, one of the things about early in the season for Ole Miss is that they weren't sure who the shortstop was going to be. If it's Chang, a 5th-year transfer out of Illinois State, or Owen Pano, a freshman from New York State. Chang got hurt against Arkansas. Pano played the rest of that series, and he was no good at short. 3-2, caught him looking. Strike 3 called. Put a fastball right there. Third strikeout for Root. Brings Mitchell Sanford. If you remember Pano, that 9th inning in the last game of the series in Oxford, where Arkansas came from behind, it started with an error by Pano at shortstop. And the 2 big hits, Davalon's game-tying single, Aloy's game-winning home run, wouldn't have happened without the error.
It's crazy. Give a team an extra out, and he'll burn you.
Mitchell Sanford at the plate here. He took a walk to start the game and scored. Root starts him with a high strike 1.
It's crazy, though, how many times that leadoff walk comes back to burn you. We know the errors do, but, boy, the leadoff walk.
0-1 to Sanford. Low outside, 1-1. What about a leadoff walk followed by an error?
Yeah, that's not good either.
That's taking your shovel and taking 2 big digs. 1-1 on Sanford. Root with a high kick. Swing and a miss. Inside, looked like a changeup.
And, I was just about to say, boy, if we can get out of this inning with 2 runs, it's a huge win. Right about then, the ball went 400 feet over the fence.
Root's 1-2. Bounced short of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now, I know it's just statistical stuff. When you look at how they scored their runs, Ole Miss shouldn't have scored anything in the first inning. Not anything. They scored 5. One of them's earned, but really none of them should have scored.
Nope, should have been nobody out, 2 outs, no one on, facing the 3-hole guy, Udemart.
3-man shift on the right with a 2-2 count. Root winds up, and it's softly hit up the middle for a base hit, just over the top of the shook third baseman, Iredale. If it's a grounder, Iredale's there, but Sanford got a little air underneath it, and has a 1-out single. Luke Hill coming up next.
I think the thing that worries me a little bit is you look at that breaking ball right there, and that ball was just kind of floated up there. It didn't have a lot of vertical drop on it. Just kind of hung in the zone.
A lot of times we'll look at an idea that somebody just got a soft hit and think it's bad luck to the pitcher, and in some cases it is. Here's Hill, right-hand batter, pitch is fouled back. Hill hit a routine double play ball last inning that Aloy booted, and that led directly to a 5-run inning. Part of the thing about luck is that if a pitcher's unlucky, well, you make a better pitch, maybe he doesn't hit it.
True.
0-1 to Hill, way outside, ball and a strike. So I always think to myself, well, there's some cases where you make your own luck. I don't think that's the case with all luck, but I think quite a bit of it you do end up making your own luck. Sometimes contact is what it takes to get lucky. Ball and a strike on Hill. Root sets, checking first, deals way outside again. Man, had trouble the last 2 pitches.
Yeah, that's a couple curveballs in a row that kind of slipped out of his hand.
Now, the pitch that Sanford hit for his single, was that a curve, a slider?
Hanging curveball.
The curve.
Yeah. And it just didn't break.
Remember, the thing about Root, he's got a good fastball, but he has to have a breaking pitch to work with. Has to have one. 2-1 count to Hill. Pitch fouled in and out of Helfrich's mitt. Strike 2.
So that's where he got in trouble last series at home. Is he kind of lost the feel for his curveball, wasn't locating his fastball, so he had to rely on the cutter and the change, and it just you can't survive like that.
Yeah. Like, he's a kitchen sink pitcher, but he's a kitchen sink guy that's got to have one of his breaking pitches working.
Yeah.
Here's a 2-2 to Hill. A high fly ball right field. Maxwell has an early bead. He's drifting to his right. He stops underneath it, makes the catch, and flips it back in with Sanford back to first base.
Well, you said something about the ball carrying, Phil. That ball was only hit 94, and it almost went to the track.
So it's just never really sure. Sometimes it has to do with the wind, but there is no wind here today. At least it doesn't appear to be. Soft breeze out to right field, but it's not going to affect that high fly ball.
Yeah, you can look at those little flags out in center. They're barely moving out towards right.
Ole Miss leading 5-1. The Rebels batting in the top of the second. Judd Utermark knocked in their first run last inning, and he'll bat here. Sanford out to his lead. Root starts Utermark with a pitch fouled off. Change up. 0-1. Utermark's kind of the guy that drives the train for Ole Miss. Leads them in SEC runs batted in. Tied for their team lead in home runs. He's had to switch positions this year from third base to second base. He's got a bright pink bat. Root from the belt with an 0-1 count. Bright sunshine coming in at the moment. The pitch is outside. 1-1 on Judd Utermark. Utermark also, this guy takes a healthy swing. He is second in the SEC in strikeouts.
He might be the biggest second baseman in the league.
1-1 pitch is inside just a bit. Ball 2.
Yeah, Zach's frustrated. Phil, he's frustrated with Scott Klein's strike zone.
I think also the Hogs dugout was a little frustrated with the third strike called to Helfrich that ended last inning with some of the calls that Root hasn't gotten this inning. Sanford can steal a base, but he's pretty close to first. Here's Root's 2-1. Utermark fouls a fastball back.
Phil, look out in right field. Look how deep. Look how deep Maxwell is in right.
A step or two from the warning track?
Yeah, that's 2 steps from the track. That's 1 big step from the track.
And Davalon's not that far back in left, and certainly Thomas isn't that far back in center. Here's a 2-2. Sanford on the run. Pitch is grounded up the middle, and Aloy's got a play to his left from short. Behind second, Fields throws, got him at first, and what fell from the sky?
That's part of his bat. The end of the bat. It looked like the cap came off the bat.
The cap came off of Utermark's bat on a ground ball to shortstop. Will end the second inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. Today's game sponsored by the Arkansas Ford dealers and the Ford F-150. Like the Razorbacks, this truck has a strong tradition earned by outstanding capability and smart features like a mobile generator. That's how to create a legacy, and the official truck of the Razorbacks. Hogs will bat on the second, trailing Ole Miss 5-1 after this from your local Ford dealer.
The Hog Call, the siren song of the Cardinal and White. Heard in every corner of Baum Walker Stadium, it's a clear warning for any foe that dares get in their way. Ford knows that strong traditions start with leadership, like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 48 years straight. Drive F-150, official truck of the Razorbacks, only at your Arkansas Ford dealer. Based on 1977 to 2024 total sales.
What's up, baseball fans? Enjoying the game should be easy. Don't overthink it. What to wear? Done. Just toss on your lucky jersey. Don't know what to serve your friends? Easy. Pick up some burgers for the grill and grab some Bud Light for your pregame tailgate. See? It's that easy. Just like Bud Light, which is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ole Miss, Kojal, Iredale, Robinette. 6, 7, 8 batters against Riley Maddox in the second inning. You see more LSU fans showing up here at the ballpark. It's one of the crazy things about this tournament. I think there may be more LSU fans for this game than Arkansas or Ole Miss fans.
I mean, yeah, there's purple everywhere you look.
Cam Kojal leads off, the pitch low. And that LSU A&M game isn't until 6:30 tonight. And they're here for this one. They're going to stay all day. 3-man shift on the right for Kojal. Here's Maddox 1-0. Missed high, ball 2. Kojal hitting .335, 65 base hits. 335 is the 5th highest average on the team. 12 homers, 55 knocked in. Maddox with a 2-0 pitch. Way outside. 3-0.
Oh, he missed bad with those last couple. He fell way off the mound that time.
Now they leave third base wide open with 3-0. They position Hill, the third baseman, at shortstop. And the 3-0 to Kojal. Shows bunt. Takes a strike. Cam, the All-SEC second-team first baseman. And I really don't know if we're going to see him play first base again at Arkansas. Second base right now.
I bet we see him bunt.
3-1. Bunted foul.
Yeah, you're right. Probably won't see him play much more first base, but boy, they were giving him the bunt right there. I think he bunted at ball 4 though.
Tennessee gave Arkansas batters the same thing. So the count goes full. The pitch on the way to Kojal. It's fouled away.
You know, the thing about that field, it's it's just not smart. Of course, it paid off right there, at least so far. We need base runners. We don't need a home run. I mean, if our hitters are smart, like right there, if they give it to us, just bunt it down that third baseline. That's an easy knock.
Another 3-2 pitch. Another foul ball by Kojal. I always feel that base runners are more difficult for a pitcher to deal with than home runs. You got guys on bases, more you got to worry about.
Yeah, a lot of times they say a home run's a rally killer.
Another 3-2 pitch to Kojal. Hit in the air to right center field. On the run, Humphrey and Mormon, and they collide. Oh, somebody's hurt. Ball rolls to the fence, and Humphrey's limping after it. Kojal's heading to third base. Going to be sent home. He's on his way to the plate. The throw's on the way. Inside the park, home run for Cam Kojal. And 2 injured Rebel outfielders, and they haven't gotten up. That looked bad. That looked really bad.
Yeah, that was a bad collision.
That looked really bad. Humphrey and Mormon both going after the ball in deep right center field, and they were both about to lay out for it. That's how they crashed into each other. Laying out for the ball, and nobody's moved since they went to the ground. Ryan Mormon never got up. Humphrey started limping after the ball to the warning track, and then he flipped it back in, but they had no play.
Yeah, he didn't have much on the throw. I mean, he barely was able to limp to the ball, and they're both still down. I don't know.
That's just terrible to see.
Was that more? I don't know if it was Mormon or Humphrey that got back up.
I couldn't tell.
I thought it was. Was it Humphrey that got up and made the throw?
The center fielder, I think. Ryan Mormon's just out on his back. I mean, he's out on his back. He's got his left knee up, but I haven't seen him move at all. At least Humphrey moved, and I got it. You can see Humphrey on the warning track, and the Arkansas athletic training staff is checking on him. I mean, you got 2 injured players here, so you don't have that many medical personnel here to check on them. Mormon's now pulled himself into a sitting position, but Humphrey's still out on his back. The score now is 5-2 on an inside the park home run by Cam Kojal. It's the 13th home run he's hit this year. Mormon's getting, the athletic trainer's talking to Mormon, just trying to see if he's all there.
I mean, he's got to be. I mean, they were both going into their dive, it looked like, when they collided.
Mormon's grabbing the right side of his jaw, and Humphrey's now in a sitting position. I think they're checking on. I can't. You could see the way he was limping after the ball on the fence. I think it's his left ankle or his left leg. Meanwhile, Maddox begins to throw some warm-up tosses. That's one of the nightmare scenarios you think about in this tournament. Mormon's pulled up to his feet, and he's able to walk around. Humphrey's on his feet too, but he doesn't look very steady. He's put his hands on his knees to try to stay upright. And with Ryan Mormon right now, it looks like his right shoulder, he's trying to raise his right arm to see how high it can go. Humphrey's now standing up straight. Bubba, that's one of the most frightening plays I've ever seen in the outfield.
I was getting ready to say, I've seen some collisions in the outfield, Phil, but, boy, I don't know if I've seen one that. I mean, they were both going hard to the ball. It looked like they were just about to both go into their dive when they collided.
I was really afraid they were both about to collide heads. I mean, if you hit heads, we may be talking about something completely different. At least both these guys are up on their feet and they're alert.
Yeah, they're both moving around. Humphrey looks like he's okay. His shoulder, you can see he's still moving his shoulder.
He's testing out both legs.
Yeah, now
he's jogging. He looks like he can jog all right.
Oh, no.
Now he went down to his knee. He went down again. It's his left knee. Humphrey started to try to bounce up and down to test it, and then went back down to the ground. It's his left knee.
That's Mormon there.
That's Mormon.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's Mormon there with his knee. And he tried to run, and boy, he took about 5 steps and then went back down.
Left knee. He grabbed that left knee immediately when he went down to the ground. Trying to flex it again. Gets back up. He's going to try it again. Was at the Tennessee-Texas game yesterday, and there was a delay like this for an injury where the plate umpire was concussed it wasn't from a foul ball. The bat hit him in the face mask, and that was they had to go get another umpire. We got plenty of umpires at the SEC tournament, but he was at the hotel, so it took a while to get him here. They've asked for some water to be brought out. This is all happening in right center field. The Ole Miss dugout's the third base side. I'm sure you played a lot of outfield in your career, Bubba. I mean, was there anything these guys could have done for this to not happen? Literally, the ball was right between the two of them. It's not like one could have called off the other.
Yeah, I mean they were both going hard. They just showed the replay. I didn't see it.
I watched. I don't think there was anything they could have done except let it drop. That's it. You just don't go after it then. But
yeah, the competitive nature in these, there is no way. The last thing you're thinking about is your off outfielder hitting you. I mean, you're going to the ball until you hear someone call you off.
And it looks like Mormon's going to walk off the field.
You know what? At least he can walk off. Well, Bianco's going to talk to him. Yeah, they're sending someone else out.
Mormon started to walk towards the dugout, and he stopped. He was dragged back out towards right field by his head coach. That's Hayden Federico that's coming out of the dugout. Federico's father was the head coach at ULM until really just a couple weeks ago. He resigned. Mike Federico.
Why would Bianco have called him back out, Phil?
You got me. Maybe Federico's going to play center field, and maybe Isaac Humphrey's coming out. I'm not sure.
I mean, he called Mormon back over. Mormon was walking out to the field.
Mormon's walking off the field. I think Humphrey's going to stay in the game. Yeah, Isaac Humphrey will stay in center field. Ryan Mormon's going to leave. This is one of the most frightening plays you could ever watch in a baseball game. Two outfielders both diving simultaneously for a ball that's hit between them. It is an inside. I don't think I ever remember calling an inside the park home run for Arkansas. I think it's the first I've seen, certainly the first this year. Is Kozel's 13th of the season. And it's Ole Miss leading 5-2. Still nobody out. Brent Iredale will be the next hitter. And you'll put Hayden Federico into right field for Ole Miss. That's taking a big bat out of their lineup. I mean, Mormon had used 11 home runs, driven in 47, already an RBI today.
I thought they might let Humphrey throw because he was moving his shoulder around like he could barely lift it over his head. I don't know how he's going to throw a baseball.
I think they'll give Maddox at least a... Looks like you're going to give him a couple, 3 more pitches potentially.
Yeah, he's been throwing throughout this. I didn't hear what he said.
I couldn't either.
I am sorry.
Iredale, Robinette, and Thomas are the next 3 batters due. Maddox has stopped throwing warm-ups. Dave Van Horn's talking with plate umpire Scott Klein. Dave's headed back into the dugout, and they've announced the right fielder Federico, and here comes Iredale up to the plate. So Iredale will bat 5-2 Ole Miss.
Phil, who'd they put in right field?
Hayden Federico.
Thank you.
Freshman out of West Monroe, Louisiana. Iredale hitting .301, 13 home runs. Back to work. Maddox winds up. Ole Miss hits Iredale. Ball 1. Well, they hit him twice in Oxford. Iredale's been hit by 19 pitches. So you can anticipate may get dotted once in this game. 1-0. Low, ball 2.
It's a good take right there. That's a 2-seam fastball down.
Three hits, 4 walks, 3 steals last week for Iredale against Tennessee. 2-0. Maddox throws. Pitch a fastball fouled away. It's late on 2-0 right there for him.
Boy, I tell you what, he had a pitch to hit there. That's the kind you don't want to miss.
Two-one pitch to Iredale. Fouled off again.
I tell you what's happening right there is that ball's running back in on him, and he's just getting jammed. When you're in advantage count, if you got to cheat to get that barrel there. Play pepper with that scoreboard.
The 2-2. Fouled away. Fastball on that handle a 3rd time in a row. About 3 or 4 suites to our right here in the booth. We've got a bunch of LSU fans to our right. It looks like those were also Tigers fans. The pitch is bounced by Iredale, foul up the first base path. Well, it looked like he's swinging at the pitch Maddox wants him to swing at now. 4 fouls in a row, and all those pitches in the same spot, in on the hands.
That's a good job right there, fighting that last pitch off. He waited till the last minute. He took that pitch right out of the catcher's mitt, Phil.
Nobody's out. A run is home, and Robinette following Iredale, then Justin Thomas. The 7th pitch to Iredale. 2-2. Struck him out swinging. Iredale shaking his head, walking away. Couldn't quite catch up with Maddox's heat. Second strikeout for the righty brings Robinette.
Yeah, you got it. I don't know right there. Unless Iredale kept thinking, maybe he kept thinking slider, because the scouting report says he likes to go to that slider cutter thing.
And we're really not seeing much of an off speed for Maddox at all.
He can't get that. He can't get the slider over. He's landed a couple of cutters.
First pitch to Robinette is fouled away into the left field seats. 8th start for Robinette in an SEC game. Now he's played each of the last 9, started 7 of them. Maddox throws 0-1. Reese fouls it off again.
Well, I tell you what,
there are pitches to hit here.
Yeah, that's right down the middle. It's 94, but there's not like there's a perceived velocity that's any difference. You can see the ball out of Riley Maddox's hand.
0-2, a little bit high. Robinette's hitting .268, 400 on base, 2 home runs, and in the last 9 games, 7 for 28 with a pair of homers. The 1-2 takes a slider low. And just like I think all the other batters that have seen the slider from Maddox, looked like Reese saw it well.
Yeah, I think he's doing something to show that pitch because we're not even offering at it. Tell you what, I'll give Maddox credit. He's got a good spin rate on that. That's over 3,000 RPMs, but it doesn't do any good if it's bouncing up there.
2-2 again. It's popped up out of play by Reese. We'll sneak over the light stand up, hit the light standard. Back into the first level. Man, you can't give up on any foul balls here at the Hoover Met.
Yeah, that one bounced back in. I think it hit an LSU fan on the back of the head.
Another 2-2 pitch. Low. Robinette goes full with one out and the base is empty. Hogs trailing Ole Miss 5-2 in the second inning.
He tried to go with a changeup right there and bounced it.
That's the first changeup he's thrown.
Yeah, I think so.
Here's the payoff to Robinette. A ground ball hit foul right past Hudson Polk. Hogs first base coach, former catcher. Lead off inside the park, homer by Kojal. Iredell strikes out. Robinette's about to see an eighth pitch. Here it comes. A chopper to the second baseman, Utermark. Routine play. And Robinette thrown out 4-3.
Yeah, once again, another fastball. Just, boy, that ball was right down the middle. Just, my rule is, Phil, if you're not on time for the fastball, you're not ready to hit. You gotta be ready for the fastball. Now, with two strikes, it's a little different. You're on late timing, but boy, any other time, you got to be on that fastball.
Thomas hitting in the 9-hole, where he's been nearly all year. The first pitch is a fastball on the outside, strike one. Thomas only played in 2 games in the Ole Miss series. Was 1 for 6 with 5 strikeouts. They had Davalon start one of the games in center. 0-1 pitch to Thomas. Curveball low. Thomas hitting .308, 462 on base. 6 of his 8 home runs have come against SEC pitching. Nobody on, 2 outs, and a 1-1 count on Thomas. Pitch on the way. In for strike 2. That's a good, looked like the best slider he's thrown.
Yeah, that's the only one he's thrown for a strike. Thomas didn't like. He thought he was down.
A 1-2 count. The pitch to Thomas is fouled off the catcher. Well, you've scraped a couple runs back after giving up 5 in the top of the first. That's the thing about a big crooked number from your opponent in the first inning. You can scratch and claw and get 1 run here, 1 run there, get your way back.
Yep.
But that also means you got to keep the opponent from scoring much for the rest of the game. 1-2 on Thomas. Davalon's on deck. Maddox lifts the leg. Slider struck him out swinging. Thomas thought a fastball's coming. Saw a slider, 3 strikeouts for Maddox one time through the batting order. Hogs get a lead off inside the park home run from Cam Kojal and nothing else. 5-2, Ole Miss leads Arkansas as we go to the top of the third on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
The Razorback softball team will host an NCAA Super Regional at Bogle Park this weekend. Coach Deifel and the Bogle Bombers will take on Ole Miss in a best-of-3 series where the winner advances to the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Tickets are now on sale for the whole weekend, starting at just $25 for adults and $15 for kids. Just head online to ArkansasRazorbacks.com and purchase your tickets today.
Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification. You're listening to the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield. 5-2 score. Ole Miss leading Arkansas 2 innings in to this Friday quarterfinal. The winner will get either LSU or Texas A&M tomorrow at 3 o'clock. The other semifinals already set. And you talk about teams don't like each other. Vanderbilt and Tennessee will play 12 noon tomorrow. They almost got into it a couple of weeks ago when Vanderbilt took the last game of that series. Will Furness leads off, and the first pitch from Zach Root is grounded for a base hit into left field. They got the leadoff man aboard for the second out of 3 innings.
Yeah, the first base cutter right there and just stayed on and hit it to left field.
Gabe Gackel had warmed up in the second inning, but they keep him on the bullpen bench here as the third inning gets underway with the 5th Ole Miss base hit. The first inning was disastrous. Ole Miss scored 5 runs, and they shouldn't have scored any of them. Arkansas had 2 chances to turn double plays, didn't turn either of them. There was an error by Vahiba Aloy that opened things up. Austin Foley had the big hit, a 3-run homer. Hogs answering with 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Ryan Moorman's the batter, and the pitch is lifted deep to left field. Now that's Federico, and the ball's caught on the warning track by Davalon. Back to first goes Furness. Federico already has 1 home run against Zach Root. That was the first pitch of the series in Ole Miss, and he was ready again on the first pitch.
Yeah, they might not want to throw him a first pitch fastball.
That was Hayden Federico, It was Ryan Moorman got injured colliding with center fielder Isaac Humphrey last half inning. So Federico's 0 for 1 with a hard line out. Colin Reuter is their DH, and he'll bat next. Reuter hit a double play grounder in the first that they didn't turn a double play on. And the pitch, fly ball, center field, carrying. Thomas has a bead. He's drifting near the track, makes the catch, and sends Furness back to first. 2 outs. And there's been 3 pitches thrown this inning. Every one of those put into play.
A couple of those little scary off the bat. Both those balls, those last 2s, 102 and 101.
Well, if you're Zach Root and you've seen these batters go after the first pitch, how are you going to approach Austin Foley, who homered against you 2 innings ago?
Well, you're not going to throw Foley a changeup because that's what he hit out. And what was the count there? Was it 1-0?
1-1.
1-1.
Root sets, breathes, and pitches. Foley takes a strike, a fastball on the inside.
So, Phil, if I'm hitting right there, I hit a changeup out, my first at bat, I'm looking dead red fastball. I'd have fallen down right there swinging at that pitch.
Foley took over the Ole Miss lead with that home run at 17. 0-1 pitch, way outside. Ball and a strike on Austin Foley. Foley was at Kentucky last year and transfers to Ole Miss for this season. 19 career home runs and just a sophomore, and he's got a lot going there. Strikes out a ton, but hits for power. Ball and a strike. Root giving Furness a look at first. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. A foul off the right side. It's over the concrete roof. A couple of kids in the suites over here that are every one of those balls they think is going to land in their suite now. They got a foul ball the last half inning. They think you're going to get one every half inning. Root's ready from the belt. The 1-2 to Foley. Low. It's a good take on a slider. It's not a bad pitch.
I'm watching the kids out that right field line on the berm out there, Phil. They're playing some kind of game. It's hilarious to watch them.
No, they're not watching the baseball game. They're playing a game of their own.
Yeah.
2-2 on Foley. Root throws home, high fastball, and that'll give Furness a head start with the upcoming pitch. So this game is there's one kid in a blue shirt down at the bottom of that long grassy knoll and a whole bunch of other kids at the top of it, and he's just throwing a ball up to him.
And whoever catches it gets to go down to the bottom and be the one that throws it.
Wow.
Pretty orderly, though. It's surprising.
3-2 pitch. A foul towards those kids in the berm. Are they paying attention? Nope. Nobody knew that it was headed out there. An adult thought he'd make the catch, and he couldn't catch it.
Boo.
Flipper. That's where Dalton should be, your son.
He is.
None of those kids are paying attention.
He's right in the middle of that cluster of kids playing keep away or whatever that game is.
Furness getting a head start. Robinette not holding him with a 3-2 count. The pitch to Foley. Low, ball 4. It's close, but a 2-out walk.
Yeah, I tell you, Zach is visibly frustrated with the strike zone.
He was visibly frustrated with 3 or 4 pitches in the first inning. Root's second walk brings Isaac Humphrey. We'll see how Humphrey swings the bat after his collision in the second with the then right fielder Ryan Moorman. Humphrey's a lefty. Pitch is low. 5-2, Ole Miss leads. It's the top of the third. Pretty critical here for Root if he's going to stay in the game to get Humphrey. Humphrey struck out to end the first inning and is 3 for 11 against Arkansas pitchers. 2 on, 2 out, 1-0 pitch on the way. Popped up, foul behind the plate. No room for Helfrich. That's going to drop right on the SEC logo on that tunnel behind the plate. Chris Budden with ESPN is standing behind the 2 doors that serves as the backstop. She watched it drop there. Big smile on Chris's face. 1-1 on Isaac Humphrey. It's the only backstop with 2 doors right behind it. I've never seen that. Here's Roots 1-1. Swing and a miss on a slider. 1-2.
When we were here a couple of years ago, I made a wrong turn, headed trying to get to the dugout, and I came out of those doors and I walked down the field. I'm like, wait, I'm not supposed to be here. I don't think.
I'm expecting a waiter to walk out of there with some plate of filet mignon and potatoes and some baked Alaska on a cart. 1-2. The pitch to Humphrey. He struck him out swinging. Got him with a changeup on a lefty with a foul tip. Good job by Helfrich holding on to it. 2 scoreless innings in a row for Zach Root. Leaves a couple of runners. And we'll go into the bottom of the third in a moment. Make sure you get over to the legendary Catfish Hole restaurants, Alma and in Fayetteville. And they got big news going on right now because the Catfish Hole has put on sale their legendary tomato relish in some local Walmarts. The Walmart Neighborhood Market on Weddington is the first store to carry it in Fayetteville. So get over and check it out. It's the legendary Catfish Hole's tomato relish at Walmart's in Northwest Arkansas. Hogs will bat in the third in a moment, trailing 5-2. This is Arkansas baseball from Learfield.
At Summit Utilities, we're more than just your gas bill. We're also your neighbors, and we're here to help, just like your neighbors do. Account-related questions, aid in setting up a payment plan, or assistance with rebate processing to help you save money on a new water heater. We've got you. At Summit, we're the keepers of the flame, making sure you have hot meals, warm baths, and a cozy home, providing you with energy that's there when and where you need it. Summit Utilities. Comfort delivered.
I'm here with the shooter, Pat Bradley, for Saracen Casino Resort.
There's Vegas, and then there's Vegas, Arkansas style. Experience all the fun and games of 2,000 slots, 45 table games, poker, and world-class dining right here at Arkansas's favorite place to win, Saracen Casino.
Just like your shooting, Pat, Saracen is so pure.
You know what they say, if you can actually do it, it ain't bragging.
Join us at Saracen Casino Resort, only 40 minutes from Little Rock.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
You're hearing Arkansas baseball in the SEC Baseball Tournament. Once again, inside the Hoover Met, here again, Phil Elson.
It's the bottom of the third and the top of the Arkansas batting order against Riley Maddox. Rebels lead 5-2 here in this SEC Tournament quarterfinal. 5 in the top of the first inning for Ole Miss, but nothing since. 1 in the first, 1 in the second for the Hogs. Davalon, Bahiva, Aloy, Logan Maxwell against Maddox, getting his second look at the righty. Starts Davalon inside, ball 1. One time Phil, through the batting order, 2 hits, an inside the park home run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts.
That's what I was going to say. We've been through the lineup now. We've all seen him. Now it's time to go to work.
1-0 to Davalon. Swing and a miss. Changeup. Or not a changeup, but it took a little something off his fastball.
Yeah, just a little BP fastball right there. That's actually a real effective pitch.
It's a different look.
Yeah.
1-1 on Davalon. High and outside. Davalon, a little lower crouch on that last pitch. Meanwhile, Gabe Gackle tossing the football back and forth in the bullpen in right field. 2-1. A high fly by Charles right of the center fielder, Isaac Humphrey. Drifts to his left a little bit, shades down. He's there for the catch. Avalon's put out and is 0 for 2.
Shortstop number 9, Vahiba Aloy.
Vahiba Aloy came around the bases in the first inning with a walk, a single by Logan Maxwell, and a ground out by Cajillo drove Vahiba in. Righty on righty, and Maddox winds up. Slider for a strike. Only one bad batter out of the last 7 has reached, and it was Kojal's home run. One strike pitch. Another breaking ball high and inside.
Trying to figure out why we're not catching up to his fastball, Phil.
Because I don't see any deception.
No, there's none. He shows the ball early. Nothing crazy on the numbers.
1-1's a slider for strike 2, and suddenly he's found the slider on this at-bat to Aloy.
Yeah, he has. I mean, when you're facing a guy that has trouble with his slider location, can't throw a changeup, you got to be on that fastball.
1-2. Fouled straight back. Aloy just enough. Boy, he was a little bit late again.
Yeah. Now, I don't mind it being late with 2 strikes. I'm good with it. Late fastball timing, but boy, early in the count, let it fly.
The 1-2. It's a bigger breaking ball down and in. And now he's got the slider. It looks like it's acting a little more like a curveball now.
Yeah, he took a lot more off that. That was 79 miles an hour.
2-2 on Aloy. Maxwell waiting on deck. The pitch. Struck him out swinging. 4th strikeout for Maddox. And I think what's making his fastball effective in some cases is the sink. There's some sink. He's got some arm side run. It's not straight. That's the only thing I can come up with.
What's crazy though, Phil, we're swinging underneath it. That's what I don't understand. He's a sinker ball guy and we're underneath it. I mean, there's no induced vertical break.
Maxwell singled in the first and was stranded at second base. First pitch, strike called on a cutter. Nobody on base for Logan and 2 outs. Bottom of the 3rd, 5-2 Rebels lead. 0-1. Change low.
Yeah, he shows that change up. His whole body opens up.
Maddox grabs the rosin bag here. You're not nearly as sweaty as you usually are here in Hoover. The 1-1 pitch. Inside on Maxwell, ball 2. I mean, we've been here before where the back of my legs are dripping.
Yeah, it's good to see you with shorts on. That's the first time all year, right?
A little bit afraid. They're a little bit pasty.
Yeah, they're not quite ready for prime time, Phil.
Well, you got to
get out in the sun a little.
2-1's a strike to Maxwell on the outside, and Logan turns away, looking up to the sky. Well, you got to break him out at some point, right? Summer's here, so might as well start getting some color on the legs.
Yeah, it's May 23rd. It's that time.
If only the bugs would leave me alone. The 2-2 to Maxwell. Low, ball 3. And it was getting bitten up. Sunday night, some mosquito or whatever attacked me, and I didn't realize it until the next day.
You all right?
I mean, I got some blood sucked out of me by a bug, but that's it. The 3-2. Maxwell pops it up left field. It's right at Sanford. Sanford in a couple of steps and a routine catch. The Hogs down in order for the first time today. Life happens. You can't predict the unexpected. You can, though, prepare. Your Edward Jones financial advisor can help with financial goals, planning with life's ups and downs in mind. Call 800-ED-JONES to get started. Edward Jones, member SIPC. 3 innings complete. Ole Miss 5, Arkansas 2. This is the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
I am Renata Jenkins Byler, the third generation of the Roller family. After the 2023 tornado, my family-owned business made a heartfelt promise to our community to rebuild and restore Roller Chenal Funeral Home. Our families deserve to see this cornerstone of comfort be brought back to life. The families we serve in the future deserve the experience that only my Roller family can provide. I am proud to have kept our promise. Roller Funeral Homes, dedicated to serving your family with all our respect.
Razorback fans, score big with the freshest seafood in town at Fish City Grill. Whether you're craving grilled salmon or fried catfish, or want to try something new from the daily chalkboard specials, they've got your seafood fix covered. Swing by the locally owned spot in Rogers and make every meal a victory for Razorback Nation.
Today's game being brought to you in part by Harps, where they greet you with a smile, ask if they can help you, let you know you're welcome in their store. Harps is hometown fresh. We come into the top of the fourth inning. Ole Miss scored 5 in the top of the first inning, and they shouldn't have scored any of those runs. Zach Root walked the leadoff batter, Mitchell Sanford. The next batter, Luke Hill, hit a double play ground ball that Behiva Loy booted, threw wildly past first base. And they had runners at second and third. An RBI single by Judd Utermark made it 1-0. RBI single Ryan Moorman made it 2-0. Here's a strike thrown by Zach Root to Luke Cheng to start the top of the fourth. Another double play ball by Colin Reuter, and an errant throw by Cam Kojal allowed him to reach, and then Austin Foley hit a 3-run homer. Root's changeup tap foul by Cheng. Cheng struck out in the second, his only other at-bat. So they shouldn't have scored any runs in the first inning. 5 total runs for Ole Miss, 1 of them earned. And the Hogs scratching out single runs in the first and second innings. Root shakes off a sign. He's at 71 pitches already, facing his 18th batter. And the 0-2 pitch to Cheng off the plate towards third base. Iredale comes up, the edge of the grass gloves, throws, got him at first. 5-3 put out. Cheng's 0 for 2. Hogs score in the first. Behiva walks. Maxwell singles him to third. Cahillo grounds out, bringing Behiva home. And Cam Kojal's fly ball to right center in the second turned into an inside-the-park home run when Ole Miss right fielder Ryan Moorman collided with center fielder Isaac Humphrey. Moorman had to leave the game, and Hayden Federico is the right fielder now. That's our game update, brought to you by First Security Bank. Mitchell Sanford has made no outs. Root walked him in the first, gave up a single in the second. Pitch is a strike on the inside. First Security is Arkansas's community bank and all about taking care of customers and making life better here in Arkansas. FSBank.com. First Security Bank better. Root's 0-1. Sanford with a ground ball, base hit, past Kojal into right center. And he's aboard 3 times today. That'll get Gackle back up in the bullpen. It's the 6th Rebel base hit. Hogs have 2 hits. Arkansas with the game's only error. 3 Rebels stranded, 1 Razorback stranded.
Yeah, that was an 0-1 fastball. He was trying to go away, left it kind of over the middle of the plate.
Luke Hill reached on Aloy's error in the first, flied out in the second. Lefty-righty the matchup. Here's the pitch. A strike on the outside. Root just dropped that slider on the corner. That was a former Arizona State Sun Devil in his second year with Ole Miss, but he's from Baton Rouge. 1 strike count. Root checking first. The pitch to Hill. Ground ball left side. Iredale off the third base line. Throws to second for a force, and Kojal throws it past first base. Would have been safe even with a good throw. Robinette recovers, and Hill stays at first base. Get a force at second, but that's it. 5-4 on the force.
Yeah, another play, though, Phil, where if Kojal could get that out of his glove, he kind of double clutched, and I think it kind of threw his rhythm off. They're showing the replay right here. Yeah, he couldn't get it out of his glove. Had he got that out of his glove, we got him at first.
It wasn't even quite a double clutch. It was like a clutch and a half.
Yeah, look at Root. He's not happy.
He's done everything he possibly can do.
Yeah.
There's 3 double play balls. He's not gotten any of them. Judd Utermark's the batter, and the pitch tipped foul off his foot. Now, this is exactly what happened in the first inning, just a different hitter. In the first inning, it was Reuter that grounded to Iredale, and Kozel's throw pulled Robinette off the base, and then Foley homers. The inning should have been over. The inning should be over here. But Utermark, who's also just as dangerous as Foley, 16 home runs, 60 RBIs, gets a chance.
Yeah, this isn't the guy you want up right now. You know, it's the extra out, but it's also the extra pitches that your pitcher has to throw.
Hill dives back at first base ahead of a step-off move. And just a lot of extra opportunities for Ole Miss in this game.
I kind of thought Dave might make a move right here against Utermark.
Toss at first base. Hill walks ahead of it. They had to get a righty in against him.
Yeah, something a little more power, because he's already seen. This is his third time to see Zach.
Hill can steal a base. 18 of them this year, caught 6 times. Here's the 0-1 to Utermark, a drive to right center field. And I think he got all of it, Bubba. He didn't. Off the top of the fence, Hill to third base, recovered by Maxwell to try to score him, and the throw from Kozel's off the line. A catch by Helfrich, dives in and got him! And that'll end the inning. Helfrich got Hill, who dove in head first, and Hill is injured. Maxwell played it perfectly off the fence. Kozel threw it up the first base line about 2 feet, but Helfrich still had time to catch it and dive into Hill, who is hurt. He's up on his feet checking with Mike Bianco, and now Bianco is taking the opportunity to make the earmuffs motion. So they're calling for a review of the play at home plate.
That's a great play by Helfrich.
To the naked eye, I think he's out.
I thought he was out.
It would go down as 9-4-2 at home plate on a double by Utermark for the 3rd out of the inning. And it looks like the left collarbone, the left side of his neck, that Hill is shaking his head about. Now we look to the camera review. The angle is coming from just to the left behind home plate. And Hill diving in with his right hand.
Oh, he's out.
The tag by Helfrich's on his shoulder. He's out. The review is upheld. And I wonder if Luke Hill can continue this game. Ole Miss has lost their right fielder and maybe their third baseman for the moment. No runs, 2 hits, and a runner stranded by Ole Miss. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th in a moment. Rebels 5, Razorbacks 2. Now this from the Arkansas Electric Cooperatives.
The Electric Cooperatives got its start lighting Arkansas, and we continue to meet that demand with every resource we can deliver. We're powering your life where you live every single day through one of 17 local cooperatives, each unique, always united, and in your community. Our mission? To provide reliable, affordable, and responsible power to every corner of Arkansas. It's the local hometown cooperative way, because we're better connected together. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas.
Hey, soybean farmers, think a fungicide can't last all season? Well, the proof is in the yield. Farmers who use just one application of Reviloc fungicide are seeing an increased yield of 7.3 bushels per acre over the untreated check. Reviloc fungicide is a disease control powerhouse that delivers season-long protection even against tough southern diseases. See what Reviloc fungicide can do for you. Ask your BASF retailer about Reviloc fungicide today. Always read and follow label directions.
Hill's going to come back out and play third base in the bottom of the 4th inning. Arkansas will bat trailing 5-2 against the Ole Miss Rebels. It was nearly 6-2, but a great play by Ryder Helfrich, taking a throw up the first base line and diving to the plate, just getting Luke Hill on his shoulder before the right hand got to the base. So, Hogs were a little bit late in the 3rd inning, hitting-wise. Weren't able to catch up with Riley Maddox's fastball. Charles Davalon flied out. Viva Loy struck out. Logan Maxwell flied out. It's the only inning Hogs haven't had a base runner. And Maddox has set down 6 in a row and 8 of the last 9. Kuhio Aloy leads off, and Maddox from the windup starts him with a fastball strike as the sun pokes through Some clouds over the third base seats. Shadows are stretching past the third base dugout towards the third base line. 1 strike pitch on the way to Cujillo. There's a breaking ball inside.
Phil, they showed a clip of Zach Root. He was a little bit frustrated after the double play to get turned, and you could read his lips what he said. And then they showed Hobbs in the dugout, had him over to the side talking to him.
1-1 on Eloy. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. I don't blame Zach for being frustrated. It's just I don't really know if you can show that frustration with your teammates there in the middle of the field.
Yeah, when you've got this many cameras, it's 2025. You got to watch what you mutter.
The 1-2 on Cujillo. There's a slider taken low.
I can mutter stuff up here to you.
You can mouth it, yeah. You roll your eyes, nobody can tell. But if Zach Root rolls his eyes, his teammates can tell.
Yes, and it's not good. You don't, as a teammate, you don't want that.
The 2-2 pitch to Eloy. Cujillo takes low and goes full. And again, I do not blame Zach Root for being frustrated, but I feel his frustration's directed at everybody that's around him, including the men in black, the umpires, his own teammates, and maybe a little bit on himself. It'll be a 3-2 to Cujillo. Strikeout swinging. Number 5 for Maddox. He has set down 7 in a row. 4 of those 7 outs have come on strikeouts. And you can see he's got that arm side run. The pitch is sinking on its way in, and I think that's the problem for the Hogs. It's not the velocity, it's the movement.
Yeah, that's the first one we've swung over. We've been under just about everything else. That was a really good 2-seamer right there. Had some horizontal break.
Here's Helfrich. Ryder takes one high and inside. Starting to see some movement in the Ole Miss bullpen. Nobody's throwing. The 1-0 to Ryder Helfrich. High again. Helfrich struck out looking in the first inning. It's 1 for 12 against Ole Miss this year. Kozel's after Helfrich. And the 2-0. Swing and a miss. It's a slider on the fastball count.
You know what? I don't mind that, to be honest with you. Cut it loose. If it's a slider, so what? You're still hitting.
2-1 pitch. Low.
Good take right there. Came back with it again, and Ryder saw it.
Earlier, the Hogs seemed like they saw Maddox's slider well. Last couple of innings, not so much. Helfrich just did, though. A 3-1 count, and the pitch. Grounded foul down the third base line. Ole Miss had Luke Hill near the line. They know Ryder Helfrich's tendencies.
Yeah, that's a good job by Ryder being on time right there. A lot of times if a guy throws you a 2-0 slider, then when you get to 3-1, that little man on your shoulder starts talking, saying, okay, he threw it 2-0. Is he going to throw it 3-1?
A payoff pitch to Helfrich. Popped up. Infield left side. Goes towards the line. Cheng, the shortstop's the last one to get there. He calls him off and makes the catch. A little confusion for Ole Miss's fielders, but they eventually do make the play on a pop out to shortstop, and that's 8 outs in a row. Kozel's next. When the Hogs saw Maddox on March 15th, they didn't do much against him. First 4 innings, they had just 1 run, had left 4 base runners, and trailed the game 2-1. It was the 5th inning when Maddox came back out, allowed an infield single and a home run to Charles Davalon. The Hogs really got to him. Ended up beating him 12-3, but it took the 5th inning. Kozel takes a strike. Cam with an inside the park home run in the 2nd inning is the last Razorback to reach base. Even last year, it was the same idea. Maddox pitched really well until coming on in the 5th inning. Didn't get an out. The Hogs scored a bunch of runs in the 5th. Pitch fouled off by Kozel and the count 0-2. Actually, it was the 6th inning last year. Pitched 5 good innings. They tried to get him out for a 6th. He didn't get an out, and Arkansas beat him because they tried to stretch him longer than he was really able to go. Kozel's trying to dig out of an 0-2 count. 3-man shift on the right, third base uncovered. The wide by Maddox, and the pitch high and inside.
It's a good take right there. When you're facing a sinker guy, you try to hunt the ball up, and so you have a tendency to chase the high fastball. That was a good job by Kozel laying off it.
Tennessee's team bus is on the way in. You can hear the sirens of Stadium Trace Parkway. The 1-2 to Kojal. Almost hit him. Slider near the back foot. Ball 2. I always love when the teams get the police escort for batting practice. Not for the game. They get it for batting practice. And the Hoover policemen all have, do you see them this year? They have leather cut-off baseball jerseys.
Sweet. The 2-2 to Kojal. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Riley Maddox pumps his arm after striking out his 6th batter. Maddox has set down 9 batters in a row and is pitching as well as he's pitched nearly all year long. Celebrating a legacy of trust and excellence, Roller Funeral Home stands out as Arkansans' first choice. Winning the Best of the Best title 24 straight years in the Democrat Gazette poll. You'll discover the Roller difference has been a beacon of honor and respect across 3 generations. Gabe Gackle coming on in relief for the top of the 5th inning. Rebels lead 5-2. This is the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
Razorback fans, this season don't lose out on your home comfort. Bud Anderson Cooling, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical is the official heating and cooling partner of Arkansas Athletics and has been delivering the highest standards in home comfort across Northwest Arkansas for over 35 years. If you're looking for a great team and elite service from a quality company that cares, you can't miss with our partner Bud Anderson Cooling, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Call 855-GO-CALL-BUD or visit ba-hvac.com/specials to score big this season.
Look, you already know eating right and staying active make a big difference, but weight loss surgery could get you back in the game. Check out the Bariatric and Metabolic Institute at Encore Medical Center in Saline County, part of the Arkansas Heart Hospital team. Their bariatric experts can help you lose the extra weight, get off medications, manage diabetes, and more. Visit arheart.com/BMI now for details. That's arheart.com/BMI for weight loss surgery. Your ticket to better health.
Gabe Gackle now relieving as the Hogs get 4 innings from Zach Root today. 5 runs, only 1 of them earned. 7 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 78 pitches, and trails 5-2, and he leaves. So big outing for Gackle to keep the Hogs in this ball game, as right now they're having trouble figuring out Riley Maddox. Root didn't get too much help from his defense until the last pitch that he threw, which was hit off the right field fence by Judd Utermark. And Luke Hill was thrown out at home plate on a bang-bang play, and that's it for Zach Root. All 5 runs scored against him in the first inning. This will be Gackle's 5th game in relief, 15th appearance overall, 6th game in relief, pardon me. His record's 4-2, 245 average allowed. Gackle's thrown 54 and 1/3 innings, an earned run average of 530. His numbers aren't good. I mean, you don't want to just see 4 innings, 5 runs and 7 hits. 0-1 the count here on Furness. Gackle winds up. Fastball's a strike, and it's 0-2. But his defense really let him down. I know a lot of times you look at it and say, well, sometimes a pitcher has to go out and get 4 outs. You just have to do it. Root had to get 5 outs in the first inning.
Yeah, I mean, on
0-2 to Furness, fouled away.
His box score is going to say he got 12 outs, but he actually got about 15, 16 outs?
Yeah. Like I would take the ground balls that he got in the first inning for the 2 double plays that should have been turned. You know, shoulda, woulda, coulda, didn't, but I don't think it was all on Root. 0-2, swung on and missed, and he gets Furness swinging. For Gackle, his 66th strikeout. And the leadoff batter makes it out for the 3rd time for the Rebs. Next batter is Federico. Federico's a first pitch guy. A line down on the 1 pitch he saw from Root in the 3rd. This will be just his 2nd at bat. Took over for Mormon, who left with looked like an injured left knee. Federico will bat left-handed. He is a switch hitter. You don't see too many of them now. Here's the pitch. Gackle starts with a changeup outside.
89-mile-an-hour changeup. It's crazy.
Aloy shades up the middle. Iredale even at third base. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
Came back with it.
Same
I
thing.
like it. Yeah.
1-1 on Hayden Federico.
I love doubling up on a pitch.
What about tripling up?
It better be a really good one.
Gackle doesn't triple up on changeups very much. Gabe couldn't see couldn't hear the sign. That pitch timer's all the way down, so out to the mound goes Ryder Helfrich.
Hey, did you watch any of the Tennessee game
last night?
Yeah.
I was here for the whole thing.
Oh, you were? Yeah, you did say that. Sorry.
I sat behind the plate. Actually, I sat behind a former Razorback who was on the 85 team. Got a big kick out of that. Former catcher for Norm's 85 team, Doyle Wilson.
Yeah.
He is a scout for the D-backs now.
Sweet.
It was an entertaining game, that's for sure. I liked watching those teams go 12. Federico's back up, and Gackle bends in a curve for strike 2.
Well, you can see that curveball out of his hand. The vertical release is 247.
Did you watch that game, or were you listening to it?
I was listening to it. I could have driven from here to the moon as long as that game took.
Gackle's 1-2 is down and in on Federico.
But then we watched the replay today at the hotel, and it was just typical. There's still all the same crap. The 0-2 timeouts, and it's hard to watch. It's painful.
Gackle again with a 2-2, and Federico is fouled over the net. That went into the press box to our left.
I got your back, Phil. Don't worry. One comes up here.
I'll catch him. I'm going to catch one of those.
Okay, let's draw the line right here. I've got my little, 12% of the room here.
It's more like 42%. 42.7. 2-2. The pitch to Federico. Gackle fires inside, ball 3. 97 miles an hour, but just off the plate. Gabe takes a look into the dugout. He thought that was strike 3.
Yeah, a little frustration there. You can see it from Hobbs. Every once in a while they show him in the dugout.
3-man shift on the right, third base uncovered with a 3-2 count on Hayden Federico. Gackle kicks and deals. Check swing. Foul tip, strike 3 on the check swing. Excuse me, contact for a third strike.
Yeah, you got to love that. It was about to be ball 4.
Yeah, the pitch was outside. He did hold back. I don't think he really swung. And on the replay, I can't tell that the ball hit the bat, but certainly the plate umpire would hear it.
Yeah, Ryder Helfrich pointed immediately, so he knew.
Campbell Smithwick is pinch hitting for Colin Reuter. They get Reuter out of the game after the lefty leaves. Smithwick's a left-hand batter. He catches every once in a while. And Gackle winds up. Pitches hit high in the air to left, right at Davalon. Should be a can of corn. He waits, reaches up, makes the catch. Gackle with a perfect 5th inning. That's what the doctor ordered. Doctor's also ordering a rally for the Hogs in the bottom of the 5th in a moment. Today's game is brought to you in part by Ballpark. If you're cheering for the Razorbacks at Baum Walker or at home, you can always enjoy the great taste of Ballpark beef hot dogs made with 100% beef. Ballpark is the official hot dog of the Razorbacks. Batting in the 5th inning in a moment, trailing Ole Miss 5-2. But first, this from Coca-Cola.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp. Refreshing. And ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Welcome back, Hog fans, for more scratching action from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. This is looking like a good one.
First appearance of the dime we've seen all season, Tom.
The luck is thick in here tonight. After all that scratching, she's a winner!
The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. Every day's a chance to win big. Pick up a ticket today. This is winning. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
You're listening to Arkansas Baseball in the SEC Baseball Tournament. Here again, Phil Elson.
Arkansas coming to bat in the 5th inning, seeing the last 9 Hogs hitters retired by Riley Maddox. The last Arkansas batter to reach, Cam Koziel, led off the 2nd inning with an inside-the-park home run. Been held to 2 hits and 1 walk, while Maddox has struck out 6 batters. Ole Miss 5, Arkansas 2. Thing is, though, is the Rebels going to have to get into the bullpen at some point. And Arkansas hit very well against the Ole Miss bullpen in Oxford 2 months ago. And then, again, the last 2 years, there's been an inning that Maddox has started against Arkansas where he hasn't been able to retire anybody, giving up a bunch of runs. Maybe it's this inning. Iredale leads off. First pitch is inside. Iredale, Robinette, and Thomas getting a second look. Each are 0 for 1. Iredale in a strikeout.
Yeah, Brent needs to go up there right here and hunt a fastball and cheat just a little bit and be on time.
1-0 pitch. Low slider, ball 2. And they got somebody playing catch in the bullpen now in left center field. It's not that Ole Miss is, tired in terms of pitching. Nobody's overworked. They've only played 1 game. It was 2 days ago. The 2-0 to Iredale. Swung on. A blooper to the second baseman, Utermark. Well, they jammed Brent, and he's popped out to start the 5th inning. Caught by the second baseman, Utermark. 10 outs in a row.
Yeah, that's one of those things that can't happen, Phil.
Yeah, Iredale's had 2 2-0 counts. In the 2nd inning, was late on a fastball, and here he got jammed. Reese Robinette bats. The pitch to the Hog first baseman is ripped for a base hit right field. Federico to his left cuts it off. A 1-out single stops the string of outs at 10.
That's how you do it right there.
Right, jump on the first pitch and the first fastball you see. Justin Thomas Jr. coming up. 5-2 Ole Miss. Hogs are right there in striking distance. Just got to get something going, and Robinette hopefully does that. Thomas struck out in the 2nd. He's 1 for 7 with 6 strikeouts against Ole Miss pitchers this year. The second baseman, Utermark, shades up the middle, but the right side's wide open. The pitch to JT, swing and a miss on the sinker.
Yeah, Justin's not seeing the ball real well. He took a couple bad swings his first at bat. It's crazy how some guys, you just don't see the ball well out of their hand.
Here's the 0-1. Strike 2 on the outside against Thomas. And maybe that is just a thing for Thomas against Maddox.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, there's guys, everyone else on the team would be lighting him up, and I'd be scuffling. I could be like, how are you guys doing this?
Pickoff throw since Robinette crawling back. Well, considering Thomas he lost on Saturday in the win against Tennessee, a 12-game on-base and run-scoring streak. I think he's been picking the ball off of pitcher's hands pretty well of late. 0-2. Grounded foul. Came inside again. I'll give Maddox a lot of credit. He's doing well against Arkansas right-handed batters coming inside. And he's doing it without hitting them. He's hit 7 batters this year, so every once in a while he'll plunk them. Robinette, short lead, 0-2 pitch to Thomas. Struck him out swinging, and that slider sat up. That was up there for him.
Yeah, I mean, nothing special about it. He just didn't see it, it looked like. Took a little bit more off of that. That was 79. And I think that's what's making that pitch effective is his ability to change speeds. He's everywhere from 85 to up to upper 70s.
2 times through the batting order, 7 strikeouts for Riley Maddox. Charles Davalon's 0 for 2. Ground out, fly out, and Big Country's chased back to first base. He's safe.
Do they know Big Country's not very fast? And he's probably not going to steal a base?
Well, Tennessee kept throwing over there.
Good point.
Even when Robinette leads off, his hands are angled back to first. It's a signal I'm not running. Here's the pitch. Davalon a swing and a high fly center field. Didn't get it. Humphrey drifts back with the shades down and makes the catch. Davalon 0 for 3 to end the 5th inning. A single by Reese Robinette is all the Hogs have had over the last 3 innings, and he is stranded here in the 5th. Brought to you by West Rock Coffee, the brand behind the brands, proudly supplying coffee, tea, flavors, extracts, and ingredients to the world's most iconic brands. Produced in Arkansas, West Rock ethically sources beverages from all around the world and is proud to be the official coffee of the Razorbacks. WestrockCoffee.com to learn more. Ole Miss 5, Arkansas 2. We go into the 6th inning on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
Summit Utilities is proud to be a part of your community, and helping you save energy is important to us. That's why we offer a variety of rebates and energy-saving programs so you can do more and spend less. From your business to home, we've got you covered. Water heaters, furnaces, food service equipment, commercial and industrial systems. Yes! Save on all of it. Visit summitutilities.com to learn about our energy-saving programs.
We, the hungry of this burger-loving nation, deserve the Sonic Smasher. Always made to order and hand-smashed into greatness. America, today we smash free. One nation under melty cheese with liberty and a truckload of sauce for all. Meet our Smashinal burger.
The Sonic Smasher. Live free. Eat Sonic. See menu for details.
Started warming up with about 30 seconds on the timer between innings, and Arkansas into the field for the top of the 6th inning, trailing Ole Miss 5-2. If you're ready for a timeout from banking frustrations, make sure you put Armor Bank into your lineup. You experience a whole new game of simplified banking. They have locations all across Arkansas, delivering hog-like focus with each play. Put in Armor Bank. Whatever the reason Gackle had to come out late has been approved by the umpires, because they're letting Gackle go through the customary warm-ups, even though he's out of time.
Yeah, I did see Hobbs come out and say something to home plate umpire Scott Klein.
They're usually pretty strict about that.
Yeah.
If you don't get your warm-ups in the 2 minutes allotted, you don't get to throw any more warm-ups.
Hey, speaking of violations, didn't Tennessee get called a couple times last night for pitch violations?
There was an at-bat yesterday, Bubba, where a Tennessee batter got called for a pitch timer, and then the Texas pitcher got called for one, and there were no pitches thrown in those 2 ball and strike. It was amazing. Nothing happened, and it was amazing. Austin Foley leads off, and Gackle starts him outside, ball 1. Gabe's 2nd inning of relief. He set him down in order in the 5th with 2 strikeouts. I sat there watching that with my friend Doug, who's the radio voice for the Birmingham Barons. Here's a 1-0 to Foley, swing and a miss, slider, and I thought, Doug doesn't watch too much college baseball. He was working in Pro Bowl, and I said, well, this pretty much encapsulates everything with both these teams getting dinged for the timer or violation. 1-1, Foley takes strike 2 on the inside. Speaking of this Birmingham Barons, that's where Hagen Smith and Michael Turner are playing. Hagen's been shut down by the White Sox.
Yeah, he was saying that. Mechanical issues.
1-2 on Foley. Gackle throws. Fouled straight back. Yeah, his walks are a little bit up there, Hagen, for the White Sox Double-A team, but his ERA's down in the I think the high 2s. But they've shut him down for the time being, sent him to a pitch lab, and I guess they're tinkering with Hagen Smith's mechanics. Hey, he wouldn't be the first where the pro team's going to tinker with your mechanics. 1-2. Low and outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He looked different last time I saw him throw. Just watching his highlights. Looked like his arm action was different than what it was before.
Here's a 2-2 to Foley. Slider way outside. So from 1-2 to 3-2. Kojal setting up on the left side. 3-man shift on the left. Don't put that leadoff man on base. Foley's homered and walked. The wind by Gackle. 3-2. Grounded foul.
Do him a little cutter there. It's a good job by Foley fouling that off.
I do love the thought of Hagen Smith and Michael Turner back together again at Double-A in Birmingham.
It's pretty cool.
Hopefully they get to the big leagues together too. Gackle tries again. 3-2 to Foley is outside. A walk to start the 6th inning. I think Foley's first inning home run, I wouldn't say has scared the Hogs out of the strike zone because he's been 3-2 on his last 2 plate appearances, but they've been really careful to him for good reason. Isaac Humphrey bats next. Humphrey striking out in the first and third innings, and also collided with the right fielder Mormon, chasing what turned into an inside-the-park home run by Kojal in the second inning, the last run of the game. Here he shows bunt, and Gackle misses low, ball 1. This is really an important moment for Gackle, and I think this is a really important game for Gackle. Into the stretch with a short lead by Foley at first. Pitch to Humphrey, popped it up right around the pitcher's mound. Gackle gets out of the way. Robinette takes over and puts the squeeze on it.
It's a good pitch right there. That's a little cutter in. Jammed Humphreys.
Humphreys 0 for 3, and the number 9 batter Luke Cheng is next. Rebels leading 5-2 in the top of the 6th. This game's kind of moving right along, too, considering some of the other games that have been played here. Hoover just has that tendency of long games. The stretch and the pitch to Cheng. Ground ball, foul. Outside third, a couple of feet.
What was the Tennessee-Texas game? 4 hours and what? Of course, it was 12 innings, but still.
Well, the other thing about it is that there was an injury for an umpire. The plate umpire had a concussion. So that was part of the length of the game yesterday. 0-1 on Cheng with 1 on and 1 out. Gackle throws low outside, ball 1. Looks like we got a full house at the Hoover Met. And I'm not lying here when I tell you, I think maybe 40% of the fans are LSU. Maybe more. 1-1. Cheng takes strike 2, a fastball down to the bottom.
Yeah, there's a lot of purple, Phil.
Well, I mean, this is an LSU invitational. I know some folks will point out how close the tournament is to Auburn and Alabama, but that doesn't matter. It's close to Baton Rouge. That's what matters. Close enough. 1-2 on Cheng. Pitch is punched over shortstop. Going to fall in left center. It does. Thomas couldn't get there. A single on 1 ball and 2 strikes moves Austin Foley to second base. They've had a couple of those fall in today.
Yeah, it was a good pitch right there by Gackle. Fastball in. He just changes to a good job fighting that off.
Did you see the Big 12 is moving their tournament next year to Surprise, Arizona?
I saw that.
Did you see what the weather's like this week in Surprise, Arizona?
Oh, but it's a dry heat.
Yeah, I've heard Hades is a dry heat too. Mitchell Sanford, the batter, he's made no outs. Lefty fouls the first pitch back.
Yeah, so's hell.
Exactly. This is my whole point. I point out it's a dry heat, but dry heat is still really hot. Who wants to be playing in 104 degrees? Because that's what it's been this week in Surprise, Arizona. And you can't be playing only night games in that tournament. What are they doing? 0-1 on Sanford. Stretch by Gackle. 2 on, 1 out. Pitch. Fastball. Strike 2 called on Sanford, who has 2 singles and a walk.
That means we can move ours to Globe Life, right?
Yeah, but when you see what the city of Hoover's done to this park.
Good point.
You think the tournament's ever going to leave here?
No.
I don't think so.
I think we're locked in.
Dream away about the SEC tournament in Globe Life Field, but that'll happen after you and I are done doing baseball on the air. The pitch is grounded foul by Sanford, still 0-2.
E on the ball boy. He just got eaten up right there with that ground ball.
I feel like they should keep some sort of fielding percentage on the ball boys here. Gackle in a battle with Mitchell Sanford. Foley leads at second, Cheng at first. Here's the pitch. Low outside. Well, you know, before the SEC tournament was here in Hoover, I think they played on campus sites. And there were even some years where there was an East Division tournament and a West Division tournament, and the winners would meet. Swing and a miss. Struck him out with a changeup. Boy, Sanford went chasing on a pitch that floated.
Yeah.
2 outs in the 6th inning.
Fooled him bad there. That was a good pitch.
Third strikeout for Gackle brings Luke Hill. Hill's reached on an error by Vehiba Aloy and a fielder's choice to third base. He's 0 for 3, but has been involved in a lot. He scored a run. He's been thrown out of the plate. 2 on, 2 out. Rebels by 3 in the 6th inning. Gackle comes set. Righty-righty against Hill. The pitch off speed, a strike on the outside.
I think Ryder kind of stole a strike right there.
Hill's their top hitter. Came in 343. Stretch and 0-1. Fouled straight back. Got a good swing on a fastball, but now Gackle ahead 0-2. Ole Miss still hasn't scored since the first inning. If we're going, and it's a big if, right? If. It's just to make points. If we're going by earned runs, the Hogs lead 2-1. We're not going by just earned runs.
Can we do that?
It's 5-2. The 0-2 to Hill. Struck him out looking. Hill doesn't like the call, and I think he might have gotten jobbed. But the Hogs get a strikeout to end the 6th inning, and it's 5 straight zeros thrown up there by the combo of Zach Root and Gabe Gackle. 1 hit, 2 left for the Rebels. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. And if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, well, Edward Jones can help. Visit edwardjones.com today. Edward Jones, member SIPC. As we move into the last of the 6th inning, Ole Miss leads 5-2. Now this from the Arkansas Ford dealers.
The Hog Call, the siren song of the Cardinal and White. Heard in every corner of Baum Walker Stadium, it's a clear warning for any foe that dares get in their way. Ford knows that strong traditions start with leadership, like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 48 years straight. Drive F-150, official truck of the Razorbacks, only at your Arkansas Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2024 total sales.
Hi, Phil Elson here, the voice of Razorback Baseball, to tell you about the unbeatable quality at Harps Food Stores. From farm fresh produce to the finest cuts in the meat department, Harps delivers nothing but the best. Whether you're prepping for a tailgate or doing your weekly grocery run, Harps has you covered, and their friendly staff makes shopping a breeze. Razorback fans, for quality you can trust, there's only one place, Harps Food Stores. Discover their incredible selection today. Harps, hometown fresh.
You're hearing Arkansas baseball in the SEC Baseball Tournament. Once again, inside the Hoover Met, here again, Phil Elson.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield. Maybe time for the Hogs to make some noise. Riley Maddox has been the one keeping the bats quiet, retiring all but one hitter over the last 3 innings. And as Vehiba Aloy, Logan Maxwell, and Kuhio Aloy are due, we've seen 12 of the last 13 Razorback batters making out against Riley Maddox. Starts Aloy with a pitch fouled off the catcher, strike 1. So I'm still wondering if the next inning that Maddox starts will be the one inning that he can't get it out and leaves guys on for the pen. But you haven't had a leadoff man reach except for Kojal's second inning inside the park homer. 0-1 on Aloy. Inside with a breaking ball. Aloy's walked, scored a run, and struck out. One of 7 Ks for Riley Maddox so far.
I feel like this is our inning, Phil.
Here's the pitch. Aloy, a swing and a miss. It's the sinker. He's gotten a lot of swings and misses. 90 miles an hour. You really don't get a lot of swings and misses on pitches that are 90.
No, you don't.
The 1-2 on Aloy. Laid off a slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But once again, I think what it is, he's changing speeds on his fastball. Like that fastball was 90. He's got a little more sink on it. He's got a 93 to 94 mile an hour one that doesn't sink as much, and I think that's what's messing us up.
2-2 pitch. Tapped foul by Aloy. Into the third base dugout on one bounce. Hogs scored in the first inning. Aloy got around with a walk, a single by Maxwell, and a ground out by Cahillo. Knocked him in. And then Kojal's second inning inside the park home run. It's the last Arkansas run. Last run of this game. 5-2. The pitch. A little dribbler towards the pitcher. Coming on to pick it up. Maddox throws to first base and out. That's one of those plays that if you don't have the green base, you end up with a disastrous play at first.
You're right. That would have been a collision.
1-3 put out. Nice job by Logan Maxwell is 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out. Righty versus lefty. And the pitch. Strike with a slider. Maddox is throwing the best game he's thrown in a while. He threw 6 1/3 against Mississippi State earlier this month, allowing 2 runs on 4 hits and 8 strikeouts. That's a really good game. Here's an 0-1 on Maxwell. Fastball outside, 1-1. Well, Maddox also threw 7 innings with 1 run against Vanderbilt. Struck out 5 in a 7-1 win. Vandy's played great ball. But Carolina beat him. Carolina only won 6 games this year. And Mizzou hit him hard. Here's a pop-up by Maxwell into left field. Cheng, the shortstop, Sanford, the left fielder. Sanford takes charge and makes the catch. 4 straight outs. And now it's 14-15. Yeah, I mean, go figure some of this stuff. It never really does make sense. Missouri had the worst season in the history of SEC baseball, but they scored 7 runs against Riley Maddox in 2 1/3 innings. South Carolina, if not for Missouri, we would have talked about Carolina having the worst year in SEC history. Yeah. And they scored 4 against them in less than 3 innings. Here's Aloy. Cahillo takes a slider for a strike. But then he goes up against some of the best teams in the country. Vanderbilt's fighting for real. If they win this tournament, Vandy may be the top overall seed. Beat Mississippi State that was playing really good ball. 1-1 on Cahillo Aloy. Inside. 1-1. Aloy's grounded out for an RBI and struck out. 0 for 2. Rebels 5, Razorbacks 2, bottom 6. Nate Thompson walks on deck, talks with Ryder Helfrich. Got to get Aloy on base for Helfrich to hit. Here's the 1-1 pitch. A swing and a miss. Not even close to the slider. Strike 2.
That's the 100th pitch by Riley.
One and 2. The pitch to Aloy, and the slider's low and outside. They had a guy playing catch in the bullpen last inning. Nobody's throwing right now in the Ole Miss pen. They had to play 2 days ago, but Ole Miss is, they're thinking they win this game, they host. Mm-hmm. With number 17 RPI, they are right on the cusp of hosting a regional. It'll be a 2-2 on Cahillo. A foul off his foot. For the Razorbacks, I think there's no pressure at all. If you lose this game, you go home. You don't want to do that. But when Monday comes around, and when Sunday comes around, and the host sites are announced, it's a foregone conclusion. The Hogs are hosting and will be a top 8. You just don't want to go 1 and home. Here's a 2-2. Sliders outside on Aloy ball 3. And you know how I've thought about this, and I think you think the same way. There isn't anybody that's going to show up in Fayetteville next week that is as talented or more talented than any of the teams you'd be playing this weekend. 3-2 to Aloy. Inside, Hogs get a 2-out walk, bringing Helfrich. Now, with that said, that didn't have anything to do with the last 2 years in which a Big 12 team was the main reason why the Hogs got knocked out of their own regional. Mike Bianco's going out to the pitcher's mound with Maddox. I've seen anybody warming up out there, but they may be making a pitching change.
Yeah, looks like he's already pointed.
They have.
Yeah. They got a dude sprinting out of there. He's ready to go.
He's ready to go right after the walk. They're going to bring in a new pitcher to face Ryder Helfrich after Riley Maddox gives Ole Miss 5 2/3 innings. He leaves after his second walk. Match that up against 7 strikeouts. And the Hogs only had 3 hits against them, including an inside-the-park home run by Cam Kojal. And Maddox will leave after throwing 104 pitches. Pitching changes are brought to you by Visit Hot Springs and Oaklawn. It's time for a road trip. Hit the jackpot with a trip to Hot Springs National Park, Arkansas, and its #1 attraction, Oaklawn Hot Springs. You can plan a trip at hotsprings.org and oaklawn.com. The new pitcher is Will McCausland. We'll get into his numbers in a moment. 5-2 Ole Miss. Hogs still batting in the 6th after this on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
Go-Go Squeeze is super excited to be on the field with University of Arkansas athletes. With a variety of deliciously fruity flavors, there's something for the whole Razorback family to enjoy. Go-Go Squeeze offers delicious fruit blend pouches that are gluten-free and nut-free. For active people, Go-Go Squeeze Active Fruit Blend with electrolytes can help replenish some of the essential minerals lost during exercise. Check out our whole line of pantry-friendly fruit and dairy products at most major retailers and online. So grab a Go-Go Squeeze and let's cheer on our Razorbacks together. Go Hogs!
Our care clinics are your hometown source for primary medical care. Our doctors, nurses, and counselors can help patients of all ages with anything from common colds and immunizations to depression, anxiety, and chronic diseases. Our network includes both home delivery and local pharmacies to fulfill your prescriptions. If you don't have insurance, it's okay. We can help with that too. And no one is turned away. With more than 90 locations in Arkansas, there's a good chance we're in your hometown. Look us up at ourcare.net.
The new pitcher is Will McCausland. McCausland is a right-hander at 6 feet tall. Junior transfers at St. Joseph's last year. Mostly a full-time reliever. He's made one start. This will be his 19th relief appearance. McCausland holds a 2-0 record, .250 average allowed, completed 36 2/3 innings. His ERA is .442. 7 walks, 47 strikeouts. In his 1 year with Ole Miss, was a starter at St. Joe's and a full-time reliever in the SEC. Hogs trail 5-2. Ryder Helfrich batting in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 outs. Kahio Alois at first base after a walk. And McCausland starts Helfrich with a pitch outside, ball 1. The Hogs saw McCausland on March 15th, and they scored 5 runs against him. He faced 5 batters.
I like it, Phil.
1-0 on Helfrich. The pitch outside, ball 2. 2-0.
A couple of sliders to start out the at-bat.
And it was on March the 15th. McCausland allowed the back-to-back homers to the Alois brothers. 2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside. 3-0 on Helfrich. Kojel's on deck. McCausland allowed homers to Alois. Alois hit Iredale with a pitch. Maxwell singled. Rocco Pepe knocked him out with a base hit. That was back March 15th. Here it is, May 23rd. He's got good numbers after that game. The pitch is a fastball strike on Helfrich, 3-1.
I mean, just another guy, kind of a stock guy, you know, low 90s fastball, a little bit of a slider.
3-1 to Helfrich. A swing and a ground ball, base hit past shortstop. Moves Alois to second base, and the Hogs have the tying run batting for the first time today. It'll be Kojal, already has a home run of the inside the park variety. Did you ever hit an inside the park home run? Did you have that speed?
You know what? I really did. I hit one. It was on a day when I almost hit for the cycle, and instead of I needed a double, but I went to third, so I ended up with 2 triples.
That's because you're not a me guy. You're
That's
a we
right.
guy.
Team first, Phil.
Here's the pitch to Kojal. Fastball strike on the inside. 3-man shift on the right. They'll keep the third baseman Hill at third base, but off the line and back 2 steps. So shortstop's open for Kojal. Cam today is homered and struck out. 1 strike count. McCausland sets and deals. Fastball inside this time.
Boy, they've been trying to bust Cam in all day. First pitch fastball's in, came back in there again. Riley Maddox did the same thing.
Kojal is 7 for 13 against Ole Miss this year. One and one the count. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. McCausland hasn't pitched in 8 days. That was the opener of their Auburn series to close out the season. And in a 9-2 win, McCausland pitched 1 scoreless inning against the Tigers. 2 balls and a strike on Kojal. Here's the pitch. Outside again, ball 3. Iredale's on deck. Maybe Kojal gets something to drive here.
Phil, if you look at the defensive lineman and look at Cahill at second, he could take third so easy. Now, you don't want to get thrown out, but look at that. There is no one holding. Third baseman's way off.
3-1 pitch. Fouled away.
Boy, that was the pitch right there.
They just have had trouble, and I'm not going to say catching up with fastballs, because I think it's been movement that's been the issue today.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 3-1 fastball right there. Just a little bit tardy on it.
Hill goes a little farther off the third base line. He's playing at shortstop now. The stretch. Runner's going to take off. There they go. Kojal takes high. Ball 4. Bases loaded for Iredale.
Iredale's due right here.
No kidding. He's had 2 rough at-bats. He's been ahead 2-0 in both of them.
I didn't bring this kangaroo 9 hours to go home after one game.
I meant to bring this up earlier in the game. And now that the battery is meeting on the mound, I can bring it up. You folks may know about Bubba Carpenter's kangaroo, the stuffed kangaroo that ESPN fell in love with last week for the Tennessee series, and he had it on his bat there. It's a different bat this time, and Bubba's actually taped the stuffed kangaroo to the window. And it's just 2 long strips of gaff tape to put it up there. You didn't worry about how it looked. You just needed the thing looking at you. I mean, it's staring at you.
He's staring right at me.
He's giving you the Kubrick stare.
Yes. He's telling me we need a grand slam right here.
No kidding.
Hey, and while we got a second, I want to give a shout out to Bull Motors.
Boy, but did you have an adventure yesterday?
Oh my gosh, it was huge. Those guys bailed me out. Alan and Brian at Bull Motors. My truck broke down on the way here. They gave me a loaner.
Where's Bull Motors?
It's in Wynne, Arkansas. So, yeah, Daniel went out to the parking lot, picked me out a car, and I got to drive here. And so, yeah, I appreciate those guys. Or we might have had to hitchhike here, Phil. That's a bad feeling when you're driving down the road and your truck just shuts down. A brand new truck too. I just bought it.
I'd have come got you.
You did offer. I gotta give you a shout out for that. You offered to come and get me.
All right, Iredale's got his chance.
I don't think you meant it though.
Bases are loaded, 2 outs. Maddox from the windup. Fastball strike to Iredale. Has hit 13 home runs this year. Hogs are a dangerous team when it comes to bases loaded. One strike pitch coming. Swing and a miss.
Boy, came in or third right there. Iredale still just a little bit late on that.
7 grand slams for the Razorbacks this year. But Iredale in an 0-2 hole. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. Iredale's 5 for 9 bases loaded this season. He does have himself 1 grand slam. 1-2 the count. Maddox throws high again.
Hey, he's trying to get him to chase that fastball up in the zone. He's got a little bit of carry on his fastball, but nothing crazy.
There were 2 outs when Kahiawaloy walked. That knocked out Maddox. McCausland gave up a single to Helfrich and walked Kojal. Now the 2-2 on Iredale. Struck him out looking. Looked at a fastball right there. Hogs leave him loaded in the 6th inning with the 8th strikeout of an Arkansas batter, and Iredale's tough day continues 0 for 3. 1 hit, 3 stranded, no runs. We'll take it to the top of the 7th inning. Ole Miss leading 5-2. Now this from Arkansas Blue Cross.
What does care look like through the years? From the first memories to the treasured moments. From life's accomplishments to life's challenges. We're here for you, body and mind. Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield has been taking care of families for more than 75 years, providing health insurance and peace of mind with the kind of coverage that ensures your best days are ahead. Take good care, Arkansas.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Z Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Visit your local Kubota dealer for a demo today.
Visit ArkansasKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Arkansas. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the University of Arkansas and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Arkansas.
Hogs trail 5-2 at the end of 6 innings and haven't seen a run scored since the second when Cam Kojal's inside the park home run brought the Hogs within a 5-2 score. Got an RBI ground out from Kahio Aloy in the first inning. And there's 4 innings in a row Hogs haven't scored. Meanwhile, Zach Root and Gabe Gackle have combined to hold Ole Miss off the scoreboard for 5 straight innings. Rebels scored all 5 of their runs in the first inning. There were 2 missed double play balls by the Hogs. RBI singles by Judd Utermark and Ryan Moorman, and a 3-run homer by Austin Foley. All that coming against Zach Root. This is Gabe Gackle's 3rd inning of relief, and he starts it by getting Utermark. They had a high fly short center. Starting back, Thomas now coming in. Starts to slide, can't catch it. That one step back costs him.
Boy, he did, Phil. He took a huge drop step right there. And the sound could tell you that ball was not hit hard. I mean, that was right off his knuckles.
It's not like Utermark needs much help to get on base. He'd already singled and doubled off the fence, but now he's 3 for 4 with this blooper. The 9th Rebel base hit compared to 4 Hog base hits. Ole Miss, and this is flipped because it's Arkansas that throughout the year has been the more fundamentally sound team in the field, but it's Ole Miss without an error, and the Hogs have the only error. Will Furness takes a slider from Gackle for ball 1.
Yeah, I tell you, Justin, I mean, he took a huge drop step right there. He thought that ball was crushed.
So that's another one of those plays that isn't an error and isn't even really a misplay, but it's a mistake from a player that would tell you that's a play you should be making. 1-0 fastball strike on Furness, 1-1. It's all the things. It's the first inning, and it's not just the first inning, but there have been other mistakes throughout this game. And man, it's just, the last time I thought Arkansas played a game that they just didn't really seem like they were there for was the second game at LSU. 1-1 on Furness. Here's the pitch. Fastball low. And that was after, remember, the Hogs and LSU went from a Friday into the early morning Saturday, and LSU won that game. And then the next day was the worst game of the year for the Razorbacks. And I thought a lot of that had to do with the residue of the game that had ended earlier that morning. Lost 13-3. 2-1 on Furness. Gackle's pitch swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But, for that, it's not a matter of an excuse. Be like, well, you just played until 1:30 in the morning. You lost the ball game. It's tough. That's just tough. This doesn't make sense to show up here at the SEC tournament and have a game in which really your mistakes are the main reason why Ole Miss is where they are. The 2-2 on Furness is tapped foul. Look, it's still 2-2.
I love Justin Thomas, but a lot of times, you're struggling at the plate. You carry that out in the field with you, and you don't really lock in. You got to be able to see as a center fielder that was a fastball in, and you got to be able to tell that he got jammed on that.
Utermark's leaning towards second, and Gackle attempts a pickoff, but he gets back. And I do like the new format of this tournament because it puts an emphasis on finishing in the top 4 in your league, and you don't need to be playing in the middle of the week. If you're an SEC team and you're going to be going into the NCAA tournament, 2-2 on Furness, slider down and in, the count full. But let's say you lose this game. Well, then you're going into the regional playing 1 game in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's not good either.
That's not good. The time off is not good when you're a baseball player.
3-2 on Furness. Gackle's pitch. Little chopper over the mound. And coming on to field it is Kojal. And he can't get the out at first base. And now they throw to second and do get the tag out on Utermark. What happened there with Kojal? Utermark started to backpedal. Kojal threw to first base late. Furness beat the throw, and then Reese Robinette throws to second, and Aloy tags Utermark.
Yeah, it's a good job by Reese right there.
That was almost a gigantic mistake by Kojal.
Kojal has to field that ball, and as soon as he starts backpedaling, you got to throw to first. He just held on a little too long.
Yeah, he held on about 2 back pedal steps.
You field it and you take off sprinting at him, Phil. You got to get him to turn, and he didn't do that.
Fielder's choice to second base. The out is 4-3-6 at second for a tag. Federico's the batter. 1 on, 1 out, top of the 7th. Ole Miss leading 5-2. First pitch on Federico is a fastball at the knees for a strike. Federico flied out on the 3rd, struck out on the 5th. I wonder if Ryan Moorman, who collided with Isaac Humphrey chasing Kozel's inside the park homer in the 2nd inning, I wonder if Moorman's going to be able to continue playing.
I don't know. Boy, he didn't look good when he tried to jog.
0-1 to Federico. Grounded right at first base. Played up on the grass by Robinette. Does a pirouette. Throws a strike to second. Aloy's return, and Gackle's there. Rack him up. Perfect 3-6-1 double play. Nothing in the 7th inning for the Ole Miss Rebels. Gackle's thrown 3 scoreless. 1 hit, none left. Our 7th inning stretch presented by Kubota. Get home run deals to stretch your savings right now during Kubota's Orange Days. Find a local Kubota dealer at Arkansas, KubotaDealers.com. Ole Miss 5, the Hogs 2. This is the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
From your favorite drive-thru coffee to the iced tea from the hotel lobby, many of the beverages you enjoy every day come from Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee Company. As the official sponsor of the Razorbacks, West Rock Coffee fuels our team and customers all over the world. We are the trusted provider of coffee, tea, flavors, extracts, and ingredients to the brands you love, and we are dedicated to making a difference. Learn more about West Rock Coffee's global impact at westrockcoffee.com.
Hello, I'm Renata Jenkins-Fowler, the 3rd generation of the Roller family. I would like to take this moment to talk to you about grief. If you're hurting or your family is experiencing grief, I would like to offer some help. It has always been our promise to take care of our communities before, during, and after a funeral service. I have enlisted the help of my good friend Chuck Monin to share a brief message on our website to reach our fellow Arkansans who are hurting. Please visit Roller, where the healing begins, with all our respect.
Bottom 7, Hogs need to get something going here. Had a chance in the 6th inning after not having any chances, really, in the last 4 innings. Left base is loaded on a 2-out strikeout for Brent Iredale against Will McCausland, who comes back on for the 7th inning. Remember, McCausland has now faced 8 Razorback hitters this year. 7 of them have reached. Iredale was the first to not. Game updates are brought to you by UAMS Health, the official orthopedics and sports medicine provider for the Razorbacks. Locations all over the state. Do what the Hogs do. Trust your care to UAMS Health. Robinette leading off against McCausland. First pitch is swung on and missed, a little bit late, and that's been the story today for Arkansas at the plate. And it's that time of the day, Bubba, where it's a little more difficult to hit.
Yeah, starting to get some shadows coming in. That's not good when you're facing this dude. I mean, he doesn't overpower you, Phil, but he's got some carry on that fastball.
Here's an 0-1 on Robinette. Shows bunt. Takes a high outside slider.
And so that's what's difficult as a hitter. You face 5 innings of a two-seam guy, sinker, 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 and all of a sudden you get a high carry guy. You can be able to adjust that attack angle.
Robinette was the last Hog to get a hit off Maddox. McCausland throws outside, 2 balls, 1 strike on Robinette. When Reese steps into the batter's box, the top of his helmet's in the sun, the rest of his body's in the shadows. And McCausland standing in bright sunshine on the pitcher's mound with a 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's 91 miles an hour, but it plays a little bit faster than that.
Third base line wide open. Hill plays towards shortstop. The 2-2 pitch to Robinette is fouled off the handle. Hogs have had only 1 leadoff batter reach base, and that was Kozel's inside the park homer in the 2nd inning, which was the last run of this game. 5-2 Ole Miss. Robinette's only 2 at-bats career-wise against Ole Miss in this game. Here's the pitch. It hit him. It just nudged him. I don't think Reese did anything to get out of the way. He just stood there, but that's all right. That's allowable. You don't have to try to get out of the way. You just can't lean into the pitch.
I think they're going to review this, Phil.
There's a natural part of Robinette's batting where he takes a slight step towards the pitch. It's a little bit of a lunge. And that's what Ole Miss is calling on here for the folks. I think the reviews are done here on site, not in the office in Birmingham. But every single pitch that Reese even takes, he steps into it. Yeah. So there was a little bit of forward movement towards the pitch.
But see, you think they're not going to know that. So if you watch the video, it looks like he intentionally leaned in.
It's not a question as to whether or not the pitch hit him. It hit him. It glanced off his elbow. I would think you might have to make some kind of... Yeah, they're putting him at first base. He's fine. I was just thinking, if you think of the natural tendency of the hitter, and you're not going to take that away from him, you're still going to make your step towards the pitch, which is essentially what Robinette did.
Well, I'm glad they saw that, because I was a little worried right there they were going to call that back, because it looks like if you watch it, he put his elbow into the ball, but that's his natural movement.
Well, now it's 8 of 9 batters against McCausland have reached for the Hogs this year. Justin Thomas would love to be another one. Here's the pitch to JT. High cutter for a strike. Thomas has struck out twice and is 1 for 8 with 7 strikeouts against Rebel pitching this year. Ole Miss by 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. The chances are getting fewer and fewer. The 0-1, Thomas showing bunt. Pitch is taken outside. 1-1.
Would you say it's getting late early?
Yes. Yes, Yogi.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Yogi. 1-1 on Thomas. McCausland throws, and Thomas again showing bunt, takes outside twice. 2-1.
I moved Raleigh Rue. I moved him to a different spot.
For the first thing I looked at, I thought maybe you were, I don't know, like cutting off his oxygen supply with the way you taped him there. But no, you didn't do it.
No.
2-1 on Thomas. McCausland throws. Pitches popped up. Left side near the dugout. There might be room for Hill. He goes over near the bench, and it bounces on the top of the roof. Strike 2 on Thomas.
Boy, that ball just kept going. I thought it was going to stay fair.
I'm really glad you didn't tape across the kangaroo's neck. We don't need to be asphyxiating stuffed animals on our windows here.
I initially did that, to be honest with you, the first time, and there's a lady over here, an LSU fan. I thought she was going to pass out, so I moved him.
Torturing a rat or something. The 2-2 pitch is high and inside, and Thomas works a full count.
I wish JT would have taken that in the arm. That was up and in. He got out of the way. That's a slow breaking ball.
This is huge here now, because now you got the tying run on deck, no outs, a 3-2 count on Thomas. Pitch on the way. Struck him out looking. Outside corner, a third strikeout for Thomas. 9 in the game against Arkansas batters.
That's why you take that 2-2 curveball in the arm.
Left fielder number 24.
There's 3 batters called out on strikes. Davalon now, and it's Aloy. Bahiba on deck would be the tying run. Davalon's 0 for 3, and he owned Ole Miss the first time around. Had 8 hits, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, and a game-tying single in the last game of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul on a hanging slider. Ole Miss up 5-2. Bottom of the 7th inning. Loser goes home. Ole Miss already has 1 win to their credit.
I feel like we got to get a run here, Phil. We need at least 1 right here.
I felt like they needed a run last inning, too.
Well, that would have been nice.
Just to put something up there, because you can't just scratch and claw your way back anymore. 0-1 pitch. Davalon rips it towards the right field corner. That ball's fair, headed to the corner. Robinette's off to the races. In right field, Federico picks it up. Reese holds it third, and Chuck into second base with a double.
Well, I tell you, Bobby Wernes held him up, and they bobbled the cut. He would have been safe, but you can't send him there. Reese isn't real fleet of foot.
Well, especially now that you have the tying run coming up, and it's your leading home run hitter, Vahiba Aloy, with 18 of them.
Oh, yeah, you don't take a chance. Bobby did the right thing. I'm not saying he did the wrong. By the time he held him up, the guy had not booted the ball.
Malloy's walked, struck out, grounded to the pitcher. Mike Bianco's out of the dugout.
There's that slow walk.
Yeah, it's the slow pitching change walk.
Phil, by the way, do you know what this sound is?
Is that a stopwatch that makes sound?
That's the sweet sound of a stopwatch beeping, Phil.
What happened to the one that I purchased for you earlier this year? That didn't get broken, did it?
No, unfortunately, I left it in the booth, hanging up right where it hangs.
Well, this one's okay. It doesn't make the loud beep.
I think it's just noisy. It's pretty loud.
It's just loud here. I hear it now. Oh, gosh. Now I'm never not going to hear it. Let's just turn your microphone off for the rest of the game, huh? They're going to make a pitching change. It's being brought to you by Visit Hot Springs and Oaklawn. Time for a road trip. Hit the jackpot with a trip to Hot Springs National Park, Arkansas, and its #1 attraction, Oaklawn Hot Springs. Plan a trip at hotsprings.org and oaklawn.com. The new pitcher is Mason Morris. We'll get into his numbers in the rest of this bottom of the 7th inning in a minute. Ole Miss 5, Arkansas 2. The turkey's on the table for Vihiva Alloy after this from Saracen Casino Resort.
I'm here with the shooter, Pat Bradley, for Saracen Casino Resort.
There's Vegas, and then there's Vegas, Arkansas style. Experience all the fun and games of 2,000 slots, 45 table games, poker, and world-class dining right here at Arkansas's favorite place to win, Saracen Casino.
Just like your shooting, Pat, Saracen is so pure.
You know what they say, if you can actually do it, it ain't bragging.
Join us at Saracen Casino Resort, only 40 minutes from Little Rock.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
With Toyota's versatile SUVs, you'll be ready for any adventure, no matter who you're adventuring with. Bringing your furry co-pilot along, the RAV4's Power Pack Performance is bound to spark some Zoom time. Scoop them up in the Corolla Cross. Its sleek design will make up for the fact that you're always fashionably late. No matter who you're rolling with, there's a Toyota SUV fit just for you. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota is a proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics. Razorback power, razor sharp style. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability.
You're listening to Arkansas Baseball in the SEC Baseball Tournament. Here again, Phil Elson.
Have you heard about the legendary Catfish Hole put in their tomato relish in local Walmarts? I've heard that the Walmart Neighborhood Market on Weddington is the first store to carry it in Fayetteville. I could eat the legendary Catfish Hole's tomato relish for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and fourth meal. And who knows, maybe frozen hush puppies next. Make sure you get over to a Walmart Neighborhood Market and grab the Catfish Hole's legendary tomato relish. Our new pitcher for Ole Miss is right-hander Mason Morris. Morris is 6'4", 225 pounds, a junior from Tupelo. 17th relief appearance. He's made no starts. He's got 5 wins, 1 loss, 1 save. Batters at .201 against Morris. 47 2/3 innings pitched. His ERA is .340. It's a .483 earned run average in this league with a .230 batting average allowed. And looking how Morris did against Arkansas. Well, that would have been last year's numbers I was looking up. You go ahead and talk for a moment, Bubba, and I'll find his correct numbers here in a moment.
Well, I'm gonna say when you're the SEC Player of the Year, this is when you got to come up big for your team right here.
Would make sense. It's Vihiva Alloy coming up to bat, and today he's walked, struck out, grounded to the pitcher. Reese Robinette's at third, Charles Davalon's at second. Hogs down 3 in the 7th inning, and Alloy swings and misses at a Morris slider for strike 1.
Yeah, start him off a little cutter there. Once again, boy, those shadows, Phil. Now the pitcher's in the sun, the hitter's in the shade.
0-1 pitch, another swing and miss, and Alloy again way out in front. That's 2 in a row. 0-2 Vihiva Alloy.
Can we take an offensive timeout right here?
Be the right time. Could you take about a 10-minute timeout? Because that's when the shadows will come back over the mound totally. 0-2 pitch on Vihiva. Outside, about 3 feet outside. Not going to chase that.
Phil, back in the day when you could just step out, you know how sometimes a cloud would come over and it gets dark?
That's when you step back in.
I would step out and give the cloud time to be gone. That way the sun would come back out because you don't want it transitioning while a pitch is coming.
Clouds were your friends. 1-2 on Vihiva. struck him out swinging, and he never knew it was coming. It's a good pitch by Morris. Throws a really tight cutter. 10 strikeouts in Arkansas batters today, and Aloy's 0 for 3. Logan Maxwell's the last hope to get something going here. Morris pitched against Arkansas May 14th, and the Rebels only win. And through 3 1/3 innings, and surrendered a home run to Logan Maxwell. Also gave up a home run to Davalon. And here's Maxwell, 1 for 3 today. Righty-lefty matchup. Maxwell's hit 10. Here's the pitch. A swing and a high fly ball right field, chased by Federico. He's there. He makes the catch in the gap. Maxwell hit a hard liner, just didn't get enough air underneath it, and Arkansas leaves runners second and third base. Well, they've stranded 6 in the last 3 innings, 7 for the ball game. Brought to you by Toyota, proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics, Razorback Power, razor sharp style. Visit a local Toyota dealer today. And now we'll go to the top of the 8th inning at the Hoover Met. Ole Miss leads 5-2. This is the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp. Refreshing. And ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Gibler now taking over for the 8th inning after the Hogs get 3 scoreless from Gabe Gackle. That's good to see. Gackle looked really good. He struck out 4 batters, gave up just a couple of bloop singles. Really no hard contact. I think the hardest ball that was hit off Gabe was the double play that Federico grounded into that ended the 7th inning. Meanwhile, the frustration just has to be building inside the Arkansas dugout when it comes to hitting. They haven't had many chances in the middle innings, but then in the 6th, bases loaded, left them loaded. Then in the 7th, runners second and third were left at those spots. So that's 7 runners stranded by Arkansas, 5 in the last 2 innings. Cole Gibler, boy, did he really arrive against Tennessee last week. Best outing of the year for the freshman. 3 1/3 scoreless in Arkansas's 8-6 Friday win. That was only the 7th game Gibler had pitched in an SEC game. And a lot of the other games was just kind of mop-up duty on both sides. Gibler making his 17th appearance. 2-1 record, 1 save, 222 average allowed, 23 1/3, 386 earned run average. Smithwick, the leadoff batter, hits lefty. The pitch is high. Smithwick hitting 6th. Foley and Humphrey also do this inning. And Ole Miss hasn't scored since the 1st, so maybe they have a little offensive frustration. But when they look at the scoreboard, they lead by 3. So what's to be flustered about? 1-0 pitch. Strike on the inside against Campbell. Campbell filled in for Colin Reuter, who was the starting DH, and fly down against Gackle in the 5th. Lefty-lefty match. Gibler with a step, a kick, and a pitch. Swing and a miss.
That's that slider. Boy, hitters just do not see that. I'd throw it again.
Hogs pitchers have struck out 8. They've walked 3. 1 and 2. He got him. Check swing. Smithwick knows it's a strike. He walks away. 1 out in the 8th.
Came back with his slider. That's a good pitch.
Austin Foley coming up next.
Number 24, Austin Foley.
Foley, and I wonder, it's not a matter of scaring out of the strike zone, but he had a 3-run homer in the 1st inning. It's the last 3 runs that the Rebels have scored. And he's had full counts in the 3rd and 6th innings. He's walked on both of them. lefty-righty matchup. Wind and pitch by Gibbler. Right down the middle with a strike. This with a changeup to start him off.
Got to be careful with that changeup. That's what he hit out.
0-1. Down and in. Same pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike on Austin Foley. You think Gibbler will be a starter in the future?
I think so.
Ball and a strike on the righty Foley. The pitch swung on and missed.
A slider there. What he's got to do, Phil, is develop a third pitch. He's got a decent changeup, but his fastball, his slider is definitely his plus pitch.
A 1-2 count on Foley. Pitch. He struck him out swinging. Sword swing. Helfrich digs it out. Steps in front of the plate. Good throw to complete the strikeout. 2 in a row for Gibbler.
I mean, you remember when he came in against Tennessee. I mean, they couldn't touch that slider.
Basically what we've seen of these first 2 hitters here.
Yeah.
But if he develops that changeup to where you really think it's a pitch that's dangerous, now you got a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Humphrey, the batter, 0 for 3, batting lefty. Gibbler's got a quiet windup. His pitch is a fastball for a strike. And his fastball is good enough, too. I mean, it's not like he can pitch off the fastball, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's 94. It's got some carry on it, though. I mean, that's 20 inches of carry right there.
The 0-1. Hit on the air, left side, out of play. Slicing towards the berm.
I mean, that's a perfect example right there. That's a hanging slider, and they still can't square it up.
What is it about his slider that you think they can't see it?
You know, I think it's kind of like the Kevin Kopp's cutter. They just don't see it out of his hand. And it looks like a fastball out of his hand, and he tunnels it real well, and it just disappears.
Davalon's way in left field. Here's the 0-2. Fouled off of Ryder Helfrich. But this is a funky little fielding alignment, huh? Look at Davalon and Thomas, left field and center. They're way in. The right fielder Maxwell's at normal depth. You got a 3-man shift on the right. Kozel's way back into the outfield.
That's the shallowest I've seen Davalon all year.
Or shalliest.
Shallot, something like that.
I like shallots. It's good to make a sauce with. Good for starting a soup. It'll be an 0-2 to Humphrey. It's a grounder hit foul. All the traffic building up on Stadium Trace Parkway. It's just a little 2-lane road that leads into the stadium here. And it does get backed up. The cops are good at moving traffic, but it still gets backed. 0-2. High fastball on Humphrey, ball 1.
Bill, we really need to come back and win this, or it's going to be an angry drive back home. Yeah. little road rage.
Like, I'll be by myself in my vehicle. I'd feel sorry for Crystal and Dalton sitting in there with you. They can drive with me if they want.
They might want to.
Maybe more pleasant. 1-2. The pitch to Humphrey. He struck him out swinging. Pitch was dropped by Helfrich. Still has time to throw to first. And Cole Gibbler strikes out the side in order. Well, this kid's got a slider that is kind of tough to teach, isn't it, huh? Roller Funeral Homes doesn't just serve the community. They're an integral part of it. Their commitment extends beyond services offered. It's reflected in every community event they sponsor, every initiative they support, and the compassionate presence they maintain in our daily lives. Just 2 more chances for the Razorbacks. Bottom of the 8th in a moment. It's Ole Miss leading 5-2 on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to keeping your family safe, Summit Utilities is here to help keep your senses sharp both inside and outside your home. If you smell a bad odor like rotten eggs, leave on foot immediately. It might be a gas leak. Then call both 911 and Summit Utilities from a safe location. Outside your home, it's important to know what's below before you dig. Always call 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free and can save you a lot more than money. Your safety is our priority. For more on gas safety, visit summitutilities.com/safety.
The Hog Call, the siren song of the Cardinal and White. Heard in every corner of Baum Walker Stadium, it's a clear warning for any foe that dares get in their way. Ford knows that strong traditions start with leadership, like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 48 years straight. Drive F-150, official truck of the Razorbacks, only at your Arkansas Ford dealer. Based on 1977 to 2024 total sales.
Mason Morris back out to work in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Ole Miss bullpen. Hogs trail 5-2. 6 outs to work with. We started to see more chances. Last 2 innings, 5 runners stranded. 4 of those runners left in scoring position. Kahio Aloy to lead off. Ryder Helfrich on deck. Cam Kojal after. Morris got the last 2 outs of the 7th inning and starts the 8th on Kahio with a slider for a strike. Vihiva struck out. Maxwell lined out to end the 7th inning, leaving Robinette and Davalon in scoring position. Kahio is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run batted in. Morris from the windup with an 0-1 pitch. Low outside.
Off the bat, it looked like Logan's ball was going to get in a gap, and it just kind of hung up there.
Yeah, 2 home runs hit today. 1 by Ole Miss over the fence. Austin Foley, 1 by the Hogs. Cam Kojal inside the park. Kahio takes a slider outside. Ball 2. Ole Miss has a right-hander warming up in the pen. It's kind of tough to see who it is, though. The 2-1 pitch. Kahio fouls it off the catcher's mitt. Only 2 leadoff batters reaching base today. Kojal's 2nd inning homer. Robinette hit by a 7th inning pitch. The closer for Ole Miss is Connor Spencer. And I would assume that's who's warming up. 2-2 count on Aloy. The pitch to Kahio. Here's a slider outside. Morris wanted it, but it looked outside. Ball 3.
Yeah, it was outside. I'll tell you, neither side's been happy with Scott Klein's strike zone back there. I wish we had K zone up here. I know Helfrich's ball was outside, and there's been a couple more borderline ones.
The 3-2 on Kahio Aloy. Strike 3 call. A 4th batter rung up, and an 11th batter to strike out. And a slider to the corner.
Catcher number 27.
Ryder Helfrich's on his way.
Yeah, that pitch was there. That caught a lot of the plate. I think Kahio thought it was going to break off the plate, and it just kind of hovered there.
Here's the first pitch to Helfrich. He swings, hits a high, lazy fly ball into right field. The right fielder Federico crossing over the right field line just before making the catch for the 2nd out. And Helfrich's 1 for 4. Another easy out.
Second baseman number 8, Cam Kojal.
Cam Kojal homered leading off the 2nd inning. It's the last run of this game. You'd come into this ball game, you come up here, think, look at the scoreboard when you sit in your seat. If it's the 3rd inning, you see 5-2. You'd think, oh my gosh, we're going for a barn burner. No, we're not. 3-man shift on the right. Hill's the only infielder on the left. He plays to the hole at shortstop. The pitch to Kojal. Fastball, strike on the inside. And it's that side of the plate. The glove side for righties, inside corner for left-handed batters that they've been getting a lot of calls today. Here's the 0-1. Kojal, a late chopper foul on a slider. Morris has a really good-looking slider.
Yeah, it's kind of a cross between a cutter / slider.
But it's sharp and it's late.
It's got the speed of a cutter and it's got the action of a slider.
0-2 pitch on the way to Kojal. A swing and a liner at second. Caught. It's the shortstop Cheng playing on the second base side for the final out of the inning. The Razorbacks will have 3 outs to work with when we get to the 9th inning, but Ole Miss will bat next. Today's game is sponsored by the Arkansas Ford dealers and the Ford F-150. Like the Razorbacks, this truck has a strong tradition, earned by outstanding capability and smart features like a mobile generator. And that's how to create a legacy. And the official truck of the Razorbacks. 5-2, Ole Miss leads. That's been the score since the 2nd inning, and we take it to the 9th after this from Summit Utilities.
Now is the time to join Hogs Plus, the Netflix for Razorback fans.
Arkansas wins it. Here they come.
Documentaries, exclusive interviews.
There are people everywhere. Then, next thing you know, it's just everybody's packed.
Insider access. And an incredible library of films.
Arkansas leads it by 3.
A membership like no other.
I don't think it gets any better than this.
Well, you're giving me goosebumps now.
Start your free trial today at hogsplus.com.
I'm a big believer that when you surround yourself with the best, it kind of gets the best out of you. And I wanted to play for a program where you're expected to be the best.
2 home runs, including a grand slam for Charles Davalon.
In this week's episode of The Home Run, we sat down with the SEC's hit leader, Charles Davalon, to talk about how a kid from Montreal went from hockey rinks to hitting leadoff for the Razorbacks, how a couple of highlights on Twitter helped launch it all. Available wherever you get podcasts.
Cole Gibbler back for the 9th inning. Hogs bullpen has been outstanding today. And really, I think the pitchers, I think Zach Root was good. Root was good. You can't ask a pitcher to have to get 5 outs in the 1st inning. And that's what Arkansas fielders asked him to do. And Ole Miss answered with 5 runs. Luke Cheng fouls the first pitch back from Gibbler for strike 1. Root was good. 1 earned run in 4 innings. 5 runs total. But 2 double plays that weren't turned in the 1st inning may be what does Arkansas in if there's no 9th inning comeback. Gibbler gets a swing and miss from Cheng for strike 2. Cheng's 1 for 3. And a single in the 6th inning off Gabe Gackle. Gackle threw 3 scoreless. Gibbler struck out all 3 batters last inning. And ahead 0-2 on Cheng. He'll deal. Struck him out on 3 pitches. Another slider in the dirt that Helfrich completes with a throw to first base. Last 3 batters against Gibbler have been identical. Strikeout, 2-3 putout. Sanford coming up. Already going to look ahead here into the Razorback 9th inning. It's Iredale, Robinette, and Thomas. 7, 8, and 9 batters. Davalon would be the cleanup hitter. And Vihiva Aloy after him. And it does look like Ole Miss is planning on a pitching change because they keep that righty warming up. Sanford, batting lefty, takes a slider outside from Gibbler.
I don't know why they'd take this dude out. We haven't really done a whole lot against him.
Gibbler's 1-0, swung on and missed. 1-1 on Sanford. Sanford's 2 for 3, a walk and a strikeout. It's 22 in the pen. It is Spencer, their closer, 5 saves.
You can tell how good a guy's stuff is by the swings of the batter. You don't need all these numbers that we have here in front of us, and you can tell that slider is really good. Those are some bad swings.
1-1. Sanford hits a grounder right at first base. 2 long bounces to Robinette for the putout, 3 unassisted. So you're telling me you don't need TrackMan? You want to put it away?
I don't need it, but I love it. I don't like it as much without the strike zone. I like that K zone.
I like having the strike zone too. I mean, the coaches like having it too.
Yeah, I mean, we can see from up here, but still.
You know who doesn't like the coaches and the broadcasters having it? The umpires.
Yep, and I know why.
Luke Hill batting, and Hill is 0 for 4, batting right-handed. He's reached on an error, scored a run. The pitch, swing and a foul, strike 1.
I mean, but seriously, on Gibbler, he could throw that slider almost every pitch. Throw a fastball around the perimeter, throw the slider down in the zone, and just get by all day.
Gibbler's 0-1. On the outside, strike 2.
Boy, he just painted that, wrapped it around the back door.
He's really something when he has that slider working. 5 up, 5 down for Gibbler. And the 0-2 on Luke Hill. low. And finally, lay off one of those sliders.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Huh?
Lay off. I think everybody knew.
He didn't swing.
Didn't swing, yes. Looked at it. Took the pitch.
Foul pole.
Never.
Thought I had you going.
Never. The 1-2. Low again on Hill. It's 2 sliders in a row that he's taken.
But, some of these big league guys, you see, they look at their numbers and they're like, okay, hitters are hitting 050 against my slider, so why don't I just throw it until they hit it?
Might make sense.
It's an easy game, right?
2 balls, 2 strikes. Gibbler winds up. Bounced another slider. So this is what, the whole point of what makes Gibbler tough right now is that they can't lay off the slider. Hill's taken 3 in a row.
It almost looks like Hill's taking, like he wasn't even swinging, to be honest with you. Now it's 3-2. He should be in swing mode.
He's waiting for a fastball now.
If he throws another slider, I bet he swings at it.
Here's Gibbler's payoff. Grounded foul. And it came with a fastball. Ole Miss leading 5-2, 9th inning. They're going to have their closer Spencer on for the bottom of the 9th.
So if I'm a hitter right here, you don't want to sit off speed with 2 strikes, but I'm thinking, okay, threw me the fastball there. Here comes the slider. Full count.
If you had a changeup, would you throw it?
Nope.
Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the hole at shortstop and through for a base hit. 2-out single for Luke Hill, his first base hit.
And he got the slider and he hit it. Didn't hit it hard, but just hit it in a perfect spot. And I feel like that's kind of been the story today.
Ole Miss with a 10-5 hit advantage against Arkansas. And with powerful Judd Utermark due up next, Dave Van Horn's going out to get Cole Gibbler. Next out of the pen for the Razorbacks, it's like Christian Fouch. Pitch and Change is brought to you by Visit Hot Springs and Oaklawn. Time for a road trip. Hit the jackpot with a trip to Hot Springs National Park, Arkansas, and its #1 attraction, Oaklawn Hot Springs. Plan a trip at hotsprings.org and oaklawn.com. Arkansas trailing in the top of the 9th inning against the Ole Miss Rebels 5-2. We are back in 1 minute on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you looking for a venue to watch sports while enjoying great food from a chef-driven menu? Are you needing an event space for large gatherings, for birthdays, rehearsal dinners, or company meetings and holiday parties? Farrell's Lounge Bar and Grill is Northwest Arkansas's premier sports bar and event space with 24 high-def TVs, 35 beers on tap, extensive menu offerings, and a full bar. Farrell's is the destination for any sports or food fanatic. For more info, go to farrellslounge.com. Farrell's Lounge on Dixon Street, Fayetteville.
The children of Arkansas deserve the highest quality health care, and as the state's only hospital system solely dedicated to caring for children, that's exactly what Arkansas Children's delivers. Whether you're calling the Hogs from Springdale, Jonesboro, Little Rock, or Pine Bluff, Arkansas Children's provides care close to home so that even the tiniest of Razorback fans can have more time being kids. At Arkansas Children's, we make kids better today and healthier tomorrow.
Christian Fouch making his 19th appearance of the year. 1-0 record, 4 saves, 171 batting average allowed, 3.54 ERA in 20 1/3 innings. 10 walks, 26 strikeouts. Fouch to pitch to Judd Utermark. 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. Ole Miss extends this inning with a 2-out single from Luke Hill. Gibbler goes 1 2/3, strikes out 4, gives up a hit. As of now, no runs. There's still no runs since Ole Miss scored 3 on a homer by Austin Fawley in the first inning, 5 in the first for the Rebels, 1 in the first, 1 in the second for the Razorbacks, and a lot of donut holes, goose eggs since. Well, you want to bring on a righty to face Utermark. He's been the toughest out today. RBI single in the first inning, and a ground out in the second, double off the wall in the fourth, and a bloop single in the 7th. Utermark's one of these guys that you can strike him out more than anybody else in the league except for one hitter. But if you make contact, he's going to get on base. Foul out of the set. And the first pitch to Utermark is a splitter for a strike. Was it the splitter or the slider?
No, that was a splitty right there.
Yeah, it had the splitter, the slider spin rate, but the splitter movement.
TrackMan has a hard time with this splitty picking up. You get some crazy numbers jumping up there on spin rate.
Well, TrackMan and the batters have a problem with a good splitter. Here's an 0-1 to Utermark. Swing and a miss at a fastball at 100.
Yeah, this isn't the guy you want to face when there's shadows and you can't see. It's a very uncomfortable at bat for Utermark. I'd go back up there again if I had 100. I'd throw it right back up at the top of the zone.
But you don't have 100?
No, I don't. I don't know.
I've got 100, but it's 50 times 2.
It's 50 to the catcher, 50 back.
0-2 pitch. Struck him out looking with a splitter that sat in there and then just dropped into the middle, and that'll end the 9th inning for the Rebels. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Razorbacks kept them off the scoreboard for the last 8 innings, but the Hog batters have some work to do. Brought to you by the Battle Line Rivalry. The 12th game of the Battle Line Rivalry is moving to Arkansas this next year in Fayetteville when the Razorbacks host the Missouri Tigers. The Battle Line Rivalry is presented by Shelter Insurance. Last chance, or it's one and done here in Hoover. 5-2 Ole Miss. Bottom of the 9th in a moment on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
From your favorite drive-thru coffee to the iced tea from the hotel lobby, many of the beverages you enjoy every day come from Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee Company. As the official sponsor of the Razorbacks, West Rock Coffee fuels our team and customers all over the world. We are the trusted provider of coffee, tea, flavors, extracts, and ingredients to the brands you love, and we are dedicated to making a difference. Learn more about West Rock Coffee's global impact at westrockcoffee.com.
Become a Razorback. Earn your degree from the University of Arkansas no matter where you live. Online students at the U of A receive the same high-quality education as on-campus students. Go to online.uark.edu to find a program that lets you advance your career or start a new one. The U of A Online. Apply now at online.uark.edu.
Before the bottom of the 9th, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Arkansas Baseball in the SEC Tournament from Learfield. Last chance for the Hogs, 5-2. They'll bat in the bottom of the 9th. Iredale, Robinette, Thomas facing Connor Spencer. Get the numbers on Spencer in a moment. Fayetteville Regionals coming up next weekend. If you haven't found a place to stay yet, I suggest the Candlewood Suites right by campus at the MLK exit off I-49. Candlewood Suites has suites in every single room. Full-size fridge, ice maker, great for short-term or long-term stays. New laundry at the Candlewood Suites. Everything you need to cook as well in your room. And it's got great discounts for Razorback fans online at hogrooms.com. The Candlewood Suites, your home away from home in Fayetteville. Well, the Rebels get 1 2/3 scoreless from Mason Morris. Morris striking out 2 batters, 5 up, 5 down. Connor Spencer makes his 17th appearance. He's 0-1 with 5 saves. He's given up 4 earned runs this year.
Got a pinch hitter.
And the Hogs have Gabe Frazier leading off instead of Brent Iredale. First pitch on the lefty is swung on. Back to the pitcher slowly, but it got past him. Cheng at shortstop fields and throws Frazier out. A 1-pitch pinch hit out, 6-3. And the Hogs are down to their final 2 outs here in Hoover. Just that you had Frazier pinch hitting for Iredale. I mean, it was a really rough game of the plate for Iredale. 2 strikeouts, a pop-up, was late on every swing. Robinette has been aboard his last 2 at-bats. A single in the 5th, hit by pitch in the 7th. Hogs beat Spencer that Sunday in Ole Miss. Here's the pitch. Robinette takes a strike, a fastball. The thing about that game is that Spencer had worked in the 7th and the 8th innings, and had also pitched Friday in that series. So it's much different this time. Here's the 0-1 on Robinette. High, 1-1.
Well, what you want to do here, Phil, the key is to get the tie-in run to the plate. Whatever it takes, you got to find a way to get the tie-in run up.
Here's a 1-1 on Robinette. Strike 2 on a fastball on the low end side. Spencer in 20 1/3 has walked 8, struck out 23. Since that game, where they try to get him through 3 innings, he's very much been a 1-inning guy. A 1-2 pitch, fouled by Robinette into the top of the screen.
It's a good swing right there on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Spencer closed down the Rebels' victory against Florida Wednesday with a 1-2-3 9th inning. Diggs is on deck, not Thomas. The 1-2 is a high fastball. Well, and Thomas didn't have a good game either. 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts. These are 2 batters in Iredell and Thomas that did quite well in the Tennessee series. We had 2-2 on Reese Robinette. The stretch and Spencer's pitch. Foul to the net again. Robinette doing everything he can to fight there and stay alive.
Yeah, it's a good job by Reese fouling off. That's a tough pitch. That's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball down and away. Probably a strike, but too close to take.
Trailing 3 runs down to your final 2 outs and nobody on. And a 2-2 count on Robinette. Here's the pitch. A swing and a foul again towards the Arkansas on deck circle.
It came with a little cutter there. Little cutter. It's that same pitch that Morris was throwing. Little cutter slider thing. 91 mile an hour. Not a lot of movement. Just a little late cut.
The next 2-2 to Robinette. High and outside. The count's full. The big hits off Spencer back on March the 16th. 2-out game-tying single by Davalon, and then Vahiva Aloy's game-winning home run. Here's the 3-2. Robinette hits a ground ball to first base. 2 big bounces for Fornes. He'll flip to the pitcher, and Spencer's there covering. 3-1 put out. Hogs have down to their last out, and it's Kendall Diggs instead of Thomas. Diggs is 10 for 60 this year, 167 batting average, 2 homers, 7 runs knocked in. He's had a dramatic walk-off home run in this tournament. That was, I think, 2 years ago against Texas A&M. But, I mean, here it's much different. This is a 3-run game. You're down to your last out. You just need 2 men on. You got to get him on. You got to get Davalon on.
Can we tell him just to step in front of one and take it for the team like in
You should just shout out to him.
The Bad News Bears.
If you shout out to him, I think he'll hear it. We just haven't seen Diggs very much these days. He's played a little bit of right field late in games. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch is a fastball right there for a strike. Kendall Diggs' last hit was April 17th against Texas A&M. His last at-bat, April 27th. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul, strike 2.
We had a fastball right there, just a little bit underneath it.
Rebels fans standing up now. The Hogs down to their final strike in a game where Ole Miss scored 5 in the first inning and probably shouldn't have scored any. The pitch to Diggs is very high, ball 1.
Yeah, Spencer overthrew that ball. He almost fell down. Phil, you would love just at least to give yourself a chance to get Aloy up this game.
Need 2 base runners. 1-2 on Diggs. The pitch. Flinched by the umpire, calls a ball.
Oh, don't frame that. That was 6 inches off the plate.
Scott Klein flinched. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Foley set up in the other box.
I think that's what he must have seen.
Yeah.
So that he's realized where the catcher set up.
I mean, he's set up off the plate.
2-2. The pitch to Diggs. Swung on, grounded off the pitcher's glove. Ricochets. The shortstop Cheng on the second base side makes the play, throws him out. Game's over. Hogs are headed home. 1-6-3 put out. Final score is 5-2 Ole Miss. And you can't help but feel like Arkansas gave this game to Ole Miss with that devastating first inning.
Yeah, you're right.
Tip of the cap to the Ole Miss pitchers, because they really did well today. I mean, that's how Ole Miss wins this game. But they didn't earn the runs they scored in the first inning.
No, they didn't. We gave them 5 runs without a doubt, but they did. They shut down an offense. I saw a stat up here. We haven't been held scoreless since the third inning only one time this year, and that was at Florida.
Well, it's a very disappointing trip to Hoover. Hogs go one and done and now head home to wait for the selection committee to make their announcements Sunday night. We know there'll be a top 8, and then we'll see what the field is for the Fayetteville Regional on Monday. Meanwhile, Ole Miss heads on to the semifinals tomorrow. They'll play either the A&M Aggies or the LSU Tigers. Stay with us for the Armor Bank 10th Inning Show next on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
Why hold a parade that only goes one block?